On the part of back-to-school shoppers.
Last week, Walmart noted higher prices on gas and food are forcing shoppers to make fewer purchases of discretionary items, things like clothing. Best Buy, the nation's largest consumer electronics chain, cited that inflation is to blame for dampening consumer spending on gadgets. Such financial struggles amid the industry's second most important shopping season behind the winter holidays mark a big difference from a year ago. That's when many low-income shoppers, flush with government stimulus money, were spending freely. Bob Agnew reporting.
He was the voice of the Dodgers for close to 70 years, first in Brooklyn, then in L.A. And that legendary voice has been stilled. Hall of Fame broadcaster Vin Scully has died. He passed away last night at his home in Los Angeles. Vin Scully, 94 years old. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Made it to the middle of the week.
Halfway day.
All by yourself. Good job. Yeah.
Everybody held your hand.
Well, they did. So what? Still got here.
I was holding others' hands, but it was mostly just dragging them behind me.
You're carrying them into Wednesday.
Every parent knows the Naruto run because we're constantly pulling our kids behind us trying to get through the store.
Well, today's like the last day of freedom for the kids, right?
It is.
Yep.
Rihanna reminded me of that the second she woke up. She goes, "It's my last day of summer, Dad. My last day of fun."
Uh-huh.
So that's on me now?
Yeah. Well,
I'm party planner, I know.
Well, your teachers have already been back to work, so they've been just lining up the work for you, ready to hit you with it all come tomorrow.
I got to tell you, last night was Rhiannon's open house at Del Norte.
Oh, I think my wife's is today.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was saying this afternoon she has a open house deal.
I've never in my entire life felt more like I was hanging out with a celebrity.
Yeah?
Than walking the halls
with
of
your
Del
daughter?
Norte last night with my daughter.
Nice.
Everybody.
She a popular kid?
Apparently, yeah. All the kids were like, "Hi, Rhiannon. Hey, Rhiannon." She was waving at everybody. Every single teacher she knew, like up and down the hall. She was like talking about her summer. Everybody was asking her. And then we get to like the end of the hallway, and she sees her teacher, and her teacher does the sumo stance, and they just run towards each other, big old hug. It was awesome. She loves
cool.
her school.
Well,
she really does.
Well, good. So I bet she's excited for tomorrow.
She is very excited.
Well, enjoy that because in a couple years that will go away.
They're gonna beat that right on out of her. I know. I'm aware what the system does. I mean, product thereof.
Right? Apple tree. I know what's gonna happen here.
You think I slouch like this for no reason? Yep.
Well, happy Wednesday, kids. Enjoy your last day of freedom before the summer is over and school begins.
We got Rhiannon talked into she's going to attempt to start eating the school lunch.
Okay.
And the first day back.
This is a big deal because
she's very.
If we've chronicled your daughter's eatings, and there's like 3 things she eats and that's it.
Yeah, she's incredibly averse to most food. But one of the things on the menu that she really does enjoy is the first thing they're having: chicken and waffles.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't that seem like pretty upscale for a kid's school lunch?
I would have never imagined chicken and waffles on any school lunch menu.
Yep.
Of course, we would have. I don't think chicken and waffles was a thing back
Probably not.
when I was a kid.
No.
So that kind of got big in the 90s,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, it sort of took off and had its thing. But yeah, chicken and waffles. I was like, they're bringing Roscoe in on day one.
Nice.
That's pretty big.
Is it just an Eggo with a...
From what I've seen, it's like there's like a chicken strip, and then like they have like how the waffles and like the 4 pieces or whatever. So it's like the triangle waffles.
Okay.
So yeah, and then like this, they give you the thing of syrup to pour on top. It's kind of fancy. I'm saying.
Bring me one.
Your wife's been holding out on you. They classed up school lunches.
Yeah, she's all like trying to make me feel sorry for her.
Mm-hmm.
Psh.
That's what I have to say. PBSHT.
Yeah. Well, so, but yeah, they go back for 2 days and then got a weekend off.
That always seems odd to me. It's like, why are we doing that?
I think it's for the teachers' benefit. Because, I mean, they've been here a week, but I think they're like, I just want you for a day. And then
it does make
I'll
sense
recruit because it's been a whole summer without you. It takes a day for me to get back into dealing with you.
The first day, every teacher just looks at their class and goes, showtime.
Yeah.
Got to be on. But that makes sense because I guess, you have to give the kids the syllabus or whatever, knock out the first couple of days. Those are usually the breeze days.
Oh, yeah.
I always hate the teachers that are like, all right, kids, we're having a quiz today. See where you're at. You suck.
I'm at summer still.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I'm still got fruity drinks on my mind.
Yeah. See, my wife teaches elementary school, so they don't use words like syllabus.
Yeah.
They're like, what? My bus is 402.
There's a line in the play Avenue Q where guy asks the girl what she's doing tonight. She goes, grading term papers, but it's kindergarten, so they're very short.
Your tree stinks, boy. Just kidding. Well, happy Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Hope for the rest of you that have nothing to do with school, it's just a regular Wednesday for you.
Yep.
Go to work, do your thing.
Schlub up.
Yeah. Slay the dragon, come home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be good.
Yeah. Although,
it's really humid like this. It's really sticky.
because it's not raining.
I know.
It's acting like it wants to rain and it don't rain. It builds the pressure. Sometimes even gets a little darker, but that's it. Then it says, we're going to Ruidoso. See you later.
I literally watched the clouds do this last night around Roswell.
Cow farts.
Come on.
Tell you, I've been saying it for years. It's cow farts. Cow farts block the storms.
I don't know if we have an ozone anymore. I was driving last night, and it was like a certain time when the sun was right in my window at direct sunlight. I was driving like this just to keep it off my face, and my hand was getting sunburned. I have like tan palms now.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. It's a real all-over tan. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Well,
undersides, the whole thing.
We can take away our ozone, but we need our O-Town.
The band?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Never take away our O-Town. You can have my ozone, but you can't have my O-Town.
I'm pretty sure O-Town took away O-Town.
O-Town is a national treasure.
How dare you bring up the 90s sensation O-Town? Right. God, sorry. Didn't know you had a whole dissertation. Name one song. Yeah, it's just a fun band name to bring up.
I just want
to. Yeah. It's like when your wife's in the room and I bring up NKOTB.
Yeah.
Just to kind of watch what reaction she's going to give me.
She can name a song though. That's the difference. I'm like, that's the one with Nick Lachey, right?
That's the one with the Wahlburgers guy in it. That's what that is. That's the one that people like her swoon to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You seem like a New Kids girl. I was pointing to Roy.
She's doing the New Kids gang signs.
Yeah. You seem like somebody who would be hanging tough.
Whoa.
Like you've got the right stuff.
Just because I know the songs doesn't mean I like the band.
I know them too. That was a closet. No, I'm just kidding. Donnie. That was me. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just had a big sister. That was my excuse.
Yeah.
So I always heard it coming from her room.
It didn't play in our house because it was me and my brother. And thank God my brother didn't like New Kids on the Block either.
That would be an interesting revelation, though.
He's jamming out to Meat Puppets.
Right. Fair enough.
And that guy, what was his name? What was that band's name?
The Crash Test Dummies.
Crash Test Dummies. Yeah, those guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's jamming
I only know
up.
that song. Like, I really only know that song because of Weird Al's version.
Oh,
Headline News, it's called.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember that thing was playing hard and heavy everywhere. Everywhere you looked, it was.
What was the line?
Once there was this girl who wouldn't change with the girls in the change room.
Cane marks all over his bottom.
Body.
And he says
quite explain it.
He says that it was from when the warden whacked it so hard.
Oh, that's the Weird Al version.
Yeah, the Weird Al version. I know all the words of that one.
Roy got it, the song.
Also Dumb and Dumber, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it
wasn't Dumb and Dumber.
It wasn't Dumb and Dumber.
Excuse me, Mr. Perfect.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's
I guess I
right.
forgot you never ever make a mistake.
That's the climactic scene. I don't really usually think about that one when I think of Dumb and Dumber.
That's right. I forgot that Crash Test Dummies did make so they probably got, I didn't know they had Dumb and Dumber money. Dang, those guys are probably living large.
Yeah, well, there's also a song in there called 2 Foot of Butt Crack. So make of that what you will.
Well, for every
There's 2 Foot of Butt Crack.
That's right. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to be joined here in a few minutes by Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber and give us an update what's happened there.
I thought Roy looked funny. You're really dolling yourself up now, Roy. I appreciate it. Attention to detail is really what it's all about.
Yeah, it's uncanny. But anyway, and then at 8 o'clock hour schedule, have the folks in the Roswell Refuge join us. And if they don't make it, then I've got a backup, but we'll get to that later.
Right.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the historical side is going to drop in, give us an update on the Heritage Dinner coming up August the 25th, and other things going on with the Historical Society.
I like that you keep grabbing your frog.
This is my new something to play with.
I like it.
Nook gave me a new toy yesterday when she was in. It's from Thailand. And
She gave you a tie toy.
It's Thai toy real good. But it's a musical instrument.
It's like not a frog. It's a lizard, I guess. Not a
It's
frog.
a toad, actually.
A toad, okay.
I said frog yesterday, and she corrected me. It's a toad.
A toadoso.
But it's got a little mini shillelagh bat thing. And you can make noises with it. And then apparently if I let go of the legs and hold the toad somewhere else, it makes a different sound.
I was wondering if you change it up.
I can't tell the difference.
Grab the stub, grab the big end, and try it with the small end. That would change the sound, I would bet.
Let's do that.
Yeah. See? That's what it is. It changes based on which side of the stick you use.
I think it's a ribbit.
You can go ahead and go. We're just going to do this for 45 minutes. Right?
It's oddly satisfying.
It really is.
That's what can't watch Bob Ross.
The headphones on, it's super ASMR.
It is a little bit. All right, 7:17. We're going to get you into your weather and take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A meteorologist, Jennifer Moore, with your Pecos Valley weather. Wall-to-wall sunshine coming our way for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia today. Another scorcher with highs close to 105. And we have the possibility of just a pop-up thunderstorm here or there, primarily for the afternoon and evening time. If you can get a storm going, it'll be a slow mover drawing in some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low 75. A few storms tomorrow, the high 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Moore.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The E&MU Roswell Pool is open for summer 2022, and it's open 7 days a week from 10 to 11 every day for lap swimming and from 11 to 5 for open swim. Just $5 for the whole day. Once you pay, you can stay all day. With full concession stand, lots of covered seating, and more. Swim passes are available, and E&MUR students get in half off. Book the pool for your next party or get-together and run the pool from 6 to 10 p.m. For information and reservations, call 575-624-7305. That's 575-624-7305. Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, other than having to listen to that earlier. But
Well, you know. You chose it.
I did. It just happened. Well, or does it choose me? I don't know which, but it just kind of happens. But, of course, you guys been busy? Keep going and
absolutely
just keeping things going.
Lots of
and busy.
good things, helping the community out. Last night was National Night Out over at the Civic Center parking lot.
Nice.
And that was a huge success.
Good deal.
Yeah. It was really cool. Walked
they had
around.
The fire department, the police department, everybody out there.
Everybody was out there. They had, their helicopters. The kids got to walk through the SWAT team vehicles.
Oh, cool.
They had a hot dog eating contest with all of the firefighters and RPD and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Jump houses. I mean, it was really cool to see the community come out and support our local firefighters and EMTs and all of that, as well as there was a backpack giveaway. And between National Night Out and all of these other organizations around town, if you are in need of a backpack and school supplies, there is no excuse for you not to have one, because all of these organizations this year have really pulled together to make sure that all of these kids are prepared to go back to school this week.
I know. Let's see, the 3 I can think of right off the top of my head. Of course, Roswell Honda gave away a bunch on Saturday. The Health Council will be giving away a bunch this Saturday out at the health fair. And like you said, the National Night Out was doing the thing. And I've seen a couple others, too, the churches and things that are doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there is a lot of help out there for folks in need.
It's really heartwarming to see how the community has come together.
Matter of factly, if you're looking for something like that, don't hesitate. Call the chamber and say, I'm looking for that, and they'll be happy to give you some information on some of those.
That's our job, is to push the information out whichever way we can.
Yeah, exactly. But, it's good. And, of course, now, like I was saying earlier, parents are probably just walking around their day-to-day with a little skip in their step as they're happy for all the kids going back.
It's crazy. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning is the day.
Yeah.
And, of course, I've been waking my kids up early all week in preparation, and they have to be up for at least 2 hours before they go to bed, go back to sleep for the rest of the day, because I'm like, Thursday, you don't get to go back to sleep.
That's right.
You got to get up and get going.
Your day. So do they watch TV for 2 hours and then go nap, or is that, or
we give them
on their
chores?
phone? Oh, good work.
Yeah,
good.
they got to go. Feed the dogs, the chickens, get their laundry done, make their beds.
Nice
things like that. So they're ready for tomorrow.
Good deal. So, someone's going to ask related to school, and I can't remember what it was. Oh well, there was something there I had, but it just shot out my head. Of course, when we talk on this back to school and all that, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, obviously talk to your teachers and things. But when it comes to the other stuff, like tax-free weekend, is
this weekend.
Is
Friday.
it this weekend?
It's Friday,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday.
So, which I know is a little tricky for some, because last year they did it too, but this is like 2 years in a row now where the tax-free weekend is after school started.
Well, that's where I personally like it
Do
because
you?
I have
Okay.
older kids. So they go to school for the first 2 days. They
Right.
get their syllabus and their school supply list because, since COVID, each teacher is different and we don't have to go get, the mass Kleenexes, Clorox wipes, things like that. I still do. And I tell all of our teachers, just call me, just text me, let me know what you need.
Right.
And throughout the year, because I was never really that parent that brought all of that first day because I knew you'd get an influx.
Sure.
Teachers get an influx of that first couple of weeks of school.
And then 2 months in, they're out.
But by November, when you really need Kleenex,
Mhm.
you have none. So I'm like, call me. I'll go to Sam's Club. I'll make a huge Sam's Club run, and I'll bring you, a gross
Yeah.
of Kleenex and Clorox wipes.
Here's a pallet of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's I remember like back when the early days of my wife teaching. And of course, even back then they'd always make the kids bring like a box of Kleenex.
Yep.
And usually a thing of pencils or something. I don't remember what it was, or some Lysol.
Yep. It was
wipes or something
usually
like
things
that.
like that.
Yeah. And but I remember like in her early years, either parents were more generous then, or we didn't use as much. Because it seemed like at the end of her year, there was always a stack of Kleenex boxes sitting up in the top there, and these 3 or 4 of those Lysol things. Now that doesn't happen, but it seemed like back then either people were giving more, or she always had 100 pounds of that stuff. But
yeah, I'm definitely
anymore.
that parent. I go to Sam's Club and 4 teachers because I have 4 kids, and they'd
Right.
be like, "We need Kleenex," so I'd get 4 of the big cases of Kleenex, and I'd be like, "Here you go."
there you go. Kleenex away.
That's right.
But yes, that is this week. But yeah, tax-free weekend. So take advantage of that.
That's right.
Getting, your back to school stuff, but the other things as well. Check deals, because I think electronics fall under the tax-free.
Computers, backpacks, of course, all of your normal school supplies.
Yeah.
And if I can remember
Clothing.
correctly, certain clothing
Yeah.
qualifies. And, I've got older kids, so it makes a big difference, especially with one kid going to college
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks. Oh, that's nerve-wracking. And we've had to buy, brand new computer for the kids. So he's got his desktop set up, but he wanted a laptop so he can go to class and everything is seamless because you can't take your desktop
Right.
to class.
Well, you could, but
So-
people look at you funny.
Right? Hang on,
Got to plug in.
I got it set up. Hang on.
I got to run a Wi-Fi cable. Internet cable. Can I run it all over?
Where's the Ethernet cord? So, it was that kind of stuff. And then, of course, my next oldest child is getting ready to take college courses as well. So we're trying to figure out what best works for her.
Okay. How's things
So-
at NIMI from the parent perspective there?
It was awesome. That's where my son graduated, and we absolutely loved it. But of course,
Yeah.
my son's 4th generation graduating
Yeah.
from the institute.
So do you have anybody at the institute now, or do you
No, not
graduate?
right now.
Okay. I was just wondering how their school
My
year's
2
starting.
middles are in dance, so they don't want to go to NIMI because
Gotcha.
they can't go off campus for any of that stuff. But our youngest is seriously thinking about going. So in
Okay.
about 2 years, we'll have another one.
Might be back.
But we're in, constant contact with NIMI
Sure.
because first of all, my family is very involved over there. And
Right.
of course, at the chamber, we're involved. So school starts the same time
Okay.
for the Institute that it starts for RISD, and the general and commandant and superintendent have done that on purpose because they know they do have a large local portion of kids that
Sure.
attend, and so that way the kids can all be off.
Kind of works
at the
best in their
same time.
schedule. Yeah. Good deal. So
Yeah.
So I imagine they'll get the influx is there now,
Yep.
but although it doesn't seem like I'm not seeing all the cadets everywhere yet. So I guess they're
You
all
will
in rat
this
week.
week
Yeah.
because matriculation is this week,
Gotcha.
so you'll start seeing all those kids come
Okay.
in.
Good deal. And then, of course, they do their rat weeks and those kind of things. And when that's going on, you're not going to see a lot of the cadets off campus because they're all busy doing the
Oh
rat
yeah,
week
you'll
stuff.
see
Yeah.
red hats
Yeah.
all over the place.
That's right. It's kind of like their basic training for the kids.
Yep.
there, for the first year.
And then September, October, they'll have Parents Weekend, and then they'll be able to get off campus in limited amounts for the rats. And then, of course, the older kids have more freedom.
What do they make them? My brother went to the SUNY Maritime Academy, which is basically like the Merchant Marine Academy for the state of New York.
Okay.
Up there, but it's a military college. And, of course, he went through his, I think they called it plebe week or something, but same thing. And but like that first year as a student there, like he couldn't just like normally walk to classes.
Nope,
he had
you
to
got
march.
square corners.
Yeah, square corners, all that stuff.
Yep.
So they make them do all that?
They have to run certain areas. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So I didn't know if they did it. And that's like their first year, right? Or first semester?
First semester.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I was wondering
And
if they
of
did
course,
all that.
you know, my brother went and graduated in 2000, and then watching my son, and it's hilarious to watch these different generations. Oh, you know, that's not fair. When I went, I had to do this for a year. I was a rat for a year, and Garrett was only a rat
always
for
10
a
times
semester.
worse. Yeah. It's no different than when I was a kid. I had to walk to school 10 miles uphill both ways. Same.
Absolutely.
Same line of thought.
Absolutely. My uncles, and then of course other friends and stuff that went in the 90s and in the 80s. It's hilarious to see how it has changed because, of course, back in the 80s, for example, they did have, you know, hazing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so to hear some of the stories and then hear from my brother and hear from my son, that my son's like, oh, if you did that, oh my gosh, you'd get kicked out.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm sure if I told my stories from basic, it'd probably way different than someone else's stories from basic.
Oh, yeah.
Right
My
now,
husband was a Marine, and I've heard some of his stories, and I'm like, oh, my God, that's real? And he's like, we were Marines.
Yeah.
Like, that's
what you
we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different mindset and interesting. But, yeah, I was wondering about that. So all that's going on. As far as events and things, what's stuff we want to put on people's
you kind of touched on a couple of things. We've got the Health Expo that opens up at 8 a.m. at the Civic Center on the 6th. So that's Saturday. We're hoping to get a couple of our redcoats out there to do a big ribbon cutting and say, all right, woo!
Come on out to the health fair.
Of course, we also have another cap sorting.
Okay.
August 13th at Hawks Automotive.
Okay.
We partner with Main Street Roswell as
these
a
are for
collection
the
site. Yes.
Yeah.
They're trying to get another 6,000 pounds, which equates to 30 more benches.
Nice.
So they had started this campaign and thought they would get just a handful of benches, but because it has been so popular, they're like, we're going to just keep sorting caps until we have benches on every corner.
It's a great idea.
Everywhere in town that somebody wants a bench.
Yeah. To me, it's a great idea because it checks every single box.
Yes.
It provides a better product than was originally there. It does it in a cleaner, more efficient way. And it gets the community involved in your recycling and doing all the green stuff.
It's fantastic. In fact, if you come to the chamber to drop off your caps, our front portico area is pretty full with caps because in the last few days they've just kind of shown up. So I got to get my husband. Hey, by the way, husband, you're on notice. I'm going to need the truck.
Is that a Marine thing? You about to do some Marine things for me.
Oh, by the way. So those are the first two things. And then, of course, with the Historical Society, their Trip Down Memory Lane drive-through fundraiser.
Yeah.
You need to RSVP your meals by next week.
I think it's the
8th.
8th.
Yep. So that's next week because they need enough time for Peppers to create however many meals they need.
And we really, I know everyone's like, they'll extend the deadline. I'm not going to lie, we probably will, but we don't want to.
You don't want to get any closer than you have to because, Adam and Neil and the guys over at Peppers do need the time to order that food.
And it's like, for instance, this Saturday, the Community Little Theater's got their Curtains Rising event out at the Clarion. Today, they extended their deadline, but today is the absolute drop-dead deadline to RSVP for that. If you go to roswelltheater.com, THEATRE.com, you can go and get your tickets. But today's the last day for that.
And that's going to be like a murder mystery, like interactive murder mystery.
And Peppers is doing their chicken au pois or pot roast choice dinner, and it's 60 or 65, I don't remember off the top of my head, for tickets. I heard they still have sponsor table or two available.
Okay.
That seats 8. You can get that as well,
And
too.
I'm sure those will go pretty quick today.
Yeah.
Because
But today's it. This is they got it. They can't extend it anymore.
yeah, that's going to be a really cool event because I love that kind of stuff where it's interactive.
Yeah.
Because as the audience, you get to dress up in a costume if you so choose of a character of your liking, and then you get to be part of that experience. If you think you know who did it,
Right.
then I believe you write it down and you put it in a box, and then they'll draw
From the correct answer
from the
box.
correct answers, and you could win, I believe, a set of tickets
To a future show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, and of course it's their big fundraiser, so they can continue to make their upgrades to their building and
Yeah, that
provide
roof.
really awesome shows.
Yeah, that roof they've been having issues with for years. They're trying to raise the funds to just outright replace it. So
I
that's-
understand
Yeah.
roofs. Roofs
I imagine,
are awful.
and I know to replace the roof on my house is not cheap. I can imagine a building the size of the community theater.
Yeah.
That's a probably very expensive
I'm sure it's
operation.
akin to what we paid for our roof a year and a half ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
So-
although they probably have a few more acreage. I don't know if it's by the acre or, what they get base it on, but I think there's a lot more roof over at that building, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'll have to go drive past there when I drop my kids off for dance this afternoon.
Because that building's huge, actually. You don't realize, because it used to be a Park Twin Theater.
That's right.
Theater. And like the theater you sit in, was one of the theaters.
And backstage is the other theater.
And it's and it's huge. Like if you all ever get a chance, get a tour, because once you go behind the house, they've got giant rooms filled with props and costuming and all this things that they've collected. And of course they have their offices and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot more rooms in that building than
Than you
people realize
realize.
when
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
there. So yeah, it's a cool building. But anyway, they need money for the roof, so please
help
sign up.
them out. And of course, Historical Society is also doing their CAPS, the living theater with the kids.
Yeah.
That's September 17th. They are going to be highlighting the local legends. And of course, once again, the fundraiser for...
Is that the one at the cemetery? Is that the one?
That's the one... Well, this one says it's at the Historical Society.
Okay, that's
on
the
the
Historical
17th.
Society one. I apologize. All right, that's
That's
so
the
they
one
also,
Amy got me.
Yeah, that's the one at the Historical Society. They also do during the year a version out at South Park Cemetery.
Yeah, and I haven't received any information
Yeah, so
from Amy
I didn't
on
know
that
if
one.
that's the one we were. And now that you said, oh yeah, the Historical
Yeah,
Society.
and
one,
of
yes.
course, the fundraiser, the drive-through fundraiser, is celebrating all of the Heritage Dinner recipients from the past 40 years. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing all of that.
Yeah, and hopefully we can maybe even get a chance, because we're going to try to probably maybe interview some of the past recipients here around that time.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
We're gonna try to. We'll see how many are available, and I mean, yeah, we got the more recent ones are pretty easy, but I'm gonna dig down into maybe some of them ones from 25,
Yeah,
30
absolutely.
years
25,
ago.
30 years
Yeah.
ago, who's still around, because
Yeah.
I'd love to see, what what
they're up to now.
What are you doing now?
Yeah, where are they now?
Right.
But yeah, so but more to come on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, the next thing we've got going on, the Generals Cup
Yes.
golf tournament is coming up in September.
Anybody famous coming out this time?
I haven't seen anything on my.
Because I'm just saying, NFL players show up
But
to
you
this
never
thing.
know. There's still a little over a month.
Yeah.
So there could be
Yeah.
a surprise.
Thanks to her father, I got to interview Mark Rippon, and to this day, it's still one of the highlights of my radio career.
Well,
So,
my son got to hang out with him.
yeah,
The other day, he called us. He's up there hanging out with Dad in Coeur d'Alene. He was like, "Oh my gosh, let me tell you." And
yeah,
all the people that Dad gets to hang out with, it's because he's still my dad and I'm still a kid, and in my mind I'm still 15, 16 years old. And when I hear that he's doing different stuff, I'm like, oh man, that's so cool.
yeah. It is kind of nice. You live vicariously.
Oh, absolutely. But he's earned it. When you've worked for 50, 60 years and created the life, then go be king. Go
He's the
enjoy your
example
life.
you look at. And people's like, you work hard in this country, you can do well. and
Absolutely. My dad
there's
is
the proof in the pudding.
absolutely an example of the American dream working.
Yep. Yeah, when people say, "Do you believe it?" Absolutely, and you point at people like that and say,
Absolutely.
That's the reason why. If you work hard, if you do your thing and bust
That's
your
right.
hump, you'll succeed.
Absolutely. So the General's Cup, and then of course another thing that's coming up, and it's in November, is the Go Bond for the college.
Okay.
The college is on the Go Bond again this year, and if they get their money, they're asking for $2.475 million. So just round it up to $2.5 million.
Okay.
And that's going to help improve the fire suppression systems for the Arts and Science Center,
Okay.
the Occupational Technology Center, and the Physical Education Center.
Okay.
Because they do programs for some of the younger kids.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny how the state works. If you have big kids in your building, you don't need fire suppression. But if you have little kids in your building, you need fire suppression.
I guess if big kids can run faster, I don't know.
We had this
Is
talk
that the
yesterday.
logic?
I would think little kids would run faster.
You'd
but
think.
That's just me.
Their legs are longer. Maybe they can make more in the stride. I don't know.
So that's what the Go Bond is.
Okay.
And so we'll have that information. Of course, all of this information is on our brand new redesigned website, roswellnm.org.
It's more efficient, streamlined, and
Absolutely.
chock full of more
it is
stuff.
so easy for us to keep it updated. And you can go into the tab that says Roswell's happenings or what's happening in Roswell, and you'll see all of this stuff as I get flyers from different organizations. That's where we'll stick that up. And of course, if you go under the events tab, we have a cool little calendar that we put everything that's going on. For example, I have populated all of the city council meetings, county commission meetings, school board meetings, all of the different committee meetings.
So it really is what's all community-wide.
Absolutely.
For
Anything.
many people.
I peruse the newspapers, and you know how the newspaper a couple different times a week, depending on what the subject matter is, will have their calendar of events. I go through, and I'm really trying to make sure everything's getting on to our calendar. So if you are an organization that's got stuff going on, if you will contact us at the chamber, we will be more than happy to put that on our calendars.
Yeah. And also use this as a tool, because I know we have a lot of civic organizations and a lot of them do events and things. And I know when it comes to creating events, a lot of times you look at calendars like, who else is doing something that weekend? All right, we need to make sure so we don't overburden and start cutting into each other. So use that calendar as a source. Like, hey, we want to plan an event in, say, November. Let's go look at the November calendar, see what's on there right now. Is there a lot there? Okay, then there is. Maybe we need to rethink our date. Or no, it looks pretty wide open. Maybe this is a good date.
And that's kind of what my thought process is that I want everybody to go to our website kind of as the catch-all, and we're trying to provide links. So, for example, if you go and you want to go and get your meal for the Heritage Dinner, you find the flyer, you can click on the flyer, and it will automatically take you to the reservations page.
So it's a calendar with teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the same on the calendar. If you don't go under the What's Happenings tab, if you just go to the calendar, once again, click on the event, and if I've got a website or that particular organization has a link, you can click on the link and it'll take you to whatever you need to see. So we're trying to be that liaison, that catch-all, go through, pass through, whatever you want to call it, for all of these other organizations, because I had a really nice long talk with Guy Malone, and I love what he's doing. He's got this really cool little business card about all the things that are in Roswell, because he got sick and tired of hearing people go, oh, Roswell's so boring, there's nothing going on. And he said, he went and looked at 3 different places, for example, when he first started, and he goes, there was so much to do. There's no way one person can do everything. And so now it has grown to one side is all of the events. He's got a little QR code and a website, and he goes through, kind of does the same thing. Here's every event going on that he can find. And then on the other side, it's all of our local hotels and local restaurants.
Wow.
So now you can go enjoy yourself with all of these events and then go find a place to eat, either before or after. If it's something that, you want to bring friends and family from out of town, now we can show you where our local hotels are.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, great. It's great to see that, he's doing that. And then by default, we're saying, hey, well, let's take that model and
Absolutely.
use...
And that's exactly, Guy and in fact, I've been looking at his card and trying to transfer that stuff to our calendar as well. And it's amazing how quickly our calendars are starting to load up.
So bookmark and put in your favorites bar there or whatever, the Chamber of Commerce website.
Absolutely.
And that way, and use it as a thing to check on. And when you're looking for maybe Fridays, if you don't get our email, or even if you do, go to the website and go look beyond what's in that email too. That weekly email for events coming up and things.
Because the email is for our members only. So of course, if you're getting our member email every Friday, then the things that are in that email are provided by our members for our members. Whereas, for example, our community calendar is everything.
Yeah, for the entire
community. There will be some differences between, and of course, if I make mistakes from time to time. So if I have something on the wrong date, please contact me, tell me, because I try to take about an hour to an hour and a half every day to just go through and keep that website updated. And it has been a learning curve because it's brand new and there's certain things. For example, trying to figure out the links, how to attach the links to the flyers. It looked like it was pretty easy, but it wasn't working, and I was actually pretty frustrated. You should have come into the office the other day because there were a lot of not nice words. I'm like, but I have it there. And finally, as soon as I figured out how it worked, now it's easy.
Nice.
Once you figure it out, it's super easy to put all of the links on there. And when you click on it, the satisfaction when it works and it actually goes where it's supposed to was really, and it's just so exciting.
Cool.
You can ask Kyle and Liz. I'm like, I did it. Oh my gosh, our website. And we're getting great feedback. We're getting emails from all kinds of people that are checking out our website from all over the country. Hey, I'm going to be here for Jazz Fest. I need some information on where to stay, where to eat. I'm a local business owner. I'm just starting. How do I do this?
Yeah.
You can sign up to be a member on our website, and
cool.
it's all seamless.
Okay.
You can actually go on, look at all of our pricing for the different levels for membership, sign up and pay online immediately, and Kyle and Liz get the email and process everything and contact you.
Nice.
So come in person. We always love people coming in person and chatting. But if you're out of town or you just don't think that you can get to the office.
Or you like doing everything technically.
That's right. You can get online, and it's really cool to see how it's all starting to come together after 2 years of hard work.
Absolutely. And I know that's something that, since you've, taken over as a director at the Chamber, is doing that where how do we kind of take the best of both worlds and use technology with some of the old school methods and say, how do we do that to make our members have more access to things, more ease of access, benefits of things, and creating and allowing the Chamber to do more. And this is kind of that way to start doing some of that.
I am all about work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. And obviously COVID kind of made everybody rethink how they do the business world, including the Chamber of Commerce. And so a lot of this you're seeing saying, this is stuff that, when we get in a world where we can't see each other, we've got options to do all that. So.
And like I said, we're always looking for more information. More information is always better than less information. So send it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go while you're goofing around on your computer this morning, go head on over to the Chamber.
Check it out.
And start take a dive through. And
pretty clean. It looks good. We're gonna, we'll start uploading, for example, all of our pictures from our Red Coats events when we're doing ribbon cuttings and grand openings and meet and greets and stuff. So that way the community can see who our Red Coats are and what we do. We do have a page all about the Red Coats, and we'll start populating all of that kind of stuff.
Good deal.
As I learn, I got to learn one thing at a time. So as we do that, and of course, before I forget, our deadline to submit ads and or ideas for the next issue of the magazine is coming up. So contact us. We're already starting to get, our yearly members to start sending their stuff. So
nice.
Send us your stuff. Our Joyriders, today's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They should be back today after taking the summer off.
Okay.
And we'll start lining out what articles to get done. And once again, we're always looking for
They're going
content.
to joyride for us again.
That's right. Oh, they are fantastic. In fact, I got a couple of phone calls yesterday about ideas for the magazine.
Yeah.
I've gotten some really cool cards in the mail from legislators and community members that have said, oh my gosh, I have lived in this community all of my life and I didn't know. Or, oh, that article on this or that was really informative.
Yeah.
And I know that person personally and still didn't know some of this stuff.
The layers you thought you knew you didn't know sometimes. Yeah, that's great. So please inquire in the chamber if you have any questions. Of course, if you want to get an ad in there, there's still opportunities.
There's
but
always opportunity.
Do it here pretty quick this week so we can get that in. And again, check out the new new and improved Roswell Chamber website.
That's updated with real information.
That's right.
That works
In real time and accurate. It's like we didn't find out what we're doing 3 years ago or whatever. It was the last time.
Oh yeah, that was looking at that old website for the last 2 years and not being able to keep it updated in a timely and efficient manner was driving me
frustrating.
crazy.
It's like, because if a website's great, but if you can't update it or change it or keep it relevant, then it's a paperweight.
Yeah.
It's useless. So
And now it's all drag and drop. I mean, it truly is very simple. I can just open up my file full of flyers, for example, and I drag and drop, and it just goes where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. So it's great to see it. So check it out today. It's Roswell
RoswellNM.org.
City has the dash. I always get the city and the chamber one because they're very close.
Well, and we'll
and it's
have links.
.gov.org. But
And of course, with the new website, we will be contacting our members for our member page because each member of the chamber has their own page or ability to have their own page on our website.
Okay.
And they can access all of the things that they need to do, pay their invoices, create events, but they can also have like their own web page on our site.
Nice.
And they can make it as cool as they want it or something as simple as, oh, I already have my own website. I'm just going to put a link. So when you look up, ABC Automotive, you click on ABC Automotive. If you're looking for somebody on the chamber site, click on their link and it'll automatically take you to their stuff.
Excellent.
And we'll start have trainings. We're going to start having trainings on that so that way our members know how it works.
Good
and
deal.
Then, so we're excited.
Yeah, because that's helpful if you know how to actually
It's wonderful to have it,
work
but if you don't know how it works, it doesn't do you any
It's
good.
like, I got access to this, but I don't have a degree on working that thing. So.
And so Liz in Growth Zone Chamber Master has been showing us how it all works.
Good.
And it's pretty easy. Once you get in there, it's as anything. You got to just get in there and mess around with it, and it works.
Yeah, anytime, and I'm one of those people that you can explain to me all day. I'll catch like a portion of what you said. You got to sit me in front of it, and I got to get my hands dirty and do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best way for me to work. In fact, when we had training on the new website, the guy was like, well, I don't know what to tell you because, and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't even know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Because I said, just give me the basics. Like, I need basics. How do I log in? How do I make basic changes?
Sure. How do I access everything and let me start?
Yeah. So we did 15 minutes and he goes, and I was like, okay, perfect. That's all I need. He goes, the best way to learn, just get in there. He goes, I promise you're not screwing it up. He goes, unless you push this button. And I was like, okay, well, what if I do push that button? He goes, well, I'm IT. That's my job. He goes, we can fix anything. And I was like, okay.
He seems nice for an IT guy. Usually the IT people are a little squirrely.
Well, he is squirrely, but everything's fixable. Like I'm not going to be able to screw it up too bad.
Right. Yeah.
Because he'll unscrew it up.
I'd like to see how nice he is when you do screw something up.
Well,
you're about to find out.
I can take it. It wouldn't be the first time.
Very good. Well, we're about out of time.
All right.
But if anybody, like I said, have any questions, check out the website. And of course, if the chamber's pretty active on Facebook and Instagram as well too. So if you use those two platforms, like and follow the chamber on those, and of course, and then you'll find, I'm sure at the website, the social medias we're on and what we follow and all that
and
stuff
you
there.
can always call us 575-623-5695 or come visit us at 131 West 2nd.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you come through during the day and the door's locked, ring the bell.
Yes, please ring the doorbell.
When there's just one person there, they generally leave the door locked for safety and security. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my office is in the back, so I keep it locked so that way, I know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to know what's going on.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit and listening to the bad jokes and everything earlier. So
that's all right. I have kids.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.
All right. It is 7:54 news and a quick break before we get you into more news. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell police and school leaders are reminding families to make safety a priority as the new school year begins. A statement from the city of Roswell says it's important for parents and other adults to talk to their kids about staying safe as they make the regular trip to and from school. Remind your kids to look both ways when crossing a street. Try to use a crosswalk if one is available nearby. And never dart into the street from in between parked vehicles. They're also asking drivers to heighten their awareness at intersections and approaching crosswalks as school begins. After almost 4 months of closures, the trails and campgrounds in the Dog Canyon area of the Guadalupe National Park reopened this week. A statement from the National Park Service says high fire danger prompted the closures of the Indian Meadow Trail and the Dog Canyon Campground in the spring. Guadalupe Mountains National Park is located 56 miles southwest of Carlsbad on U.S. Highway 62-180. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Wall-to-wall sunshine coming our way for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia today. Another scorcher with highs close to 105. And we have the possibility of just a pop-up thunderstorm here or there, primarily for the afternoon and evening time. If you can get a storm going, it'll be a slow mover drawing in some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low 75. A few storms tomorrow, the high 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Fall sports are right around the corner, only a couple of weeks away. Let's look at the Roswell High boys soccer team. Last year, the Coyotes were 11-7-1, second in district behind Hobbs, although Roswell did beat Hobbs by a couple of goals, also lost to Hobbs by a couple of goals. What really sunk the Coyotes, if you remember, was a defeat to Clovis on the last day of the regular season, so they didn't get into the postseason. And that was a senior-laden team, we like to say. A lot of guys were lost to graduation, but the Coyotes do have their goalkeeper back, a guy that was in goal for 19 games last season. That was Alan Alva. He's now a junior. And Fernel Garcia had a couple of goals as a freshman, so he's back on the roster again this season. You're going to have to go from there. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. American employers posted fewer job openings in June as the economy dealt with raging inflation and rising interest rates. The Labor Department said job openings fell to a still high 10.7 million. So far this year, employers have added an average of 457,000 jobs a month, and unemployment sits near a 50-year low. In corporate earnings, Starbucks reported record revenue in the April to June period, benefiting from higher prices as well as hundreds of new store openings. And Airbnb reports a profit of $379 million for the second quarter. It says bookings were a record. Wall Street has yet to gain ground in August. The major indexes stumbled again yesterday, with the Dow dropping 402 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 also closed lower. For the Wall Street Business.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For a free estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And good morning. We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned. Next hour, schedule the folks from the Refuge join us. I have a backup if that doesn't happen, but that's on the plan. We'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND Roswell, New Mexico. We will be back on the other side of news. That's a promise, not a threat. They're going to pay me, so I got to.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Don't look to OPEC for any significant relief from sky-high energy prices. The cartel and its allies, Russia among them, have agreed to boost crude production at a much slower pace in September than in previous months, pumping an additional 100,000 barrels of oil per day. Michigan Congressman Peter Meyer loses his Republican primary race to a Trump-endorsed challenge.
The primaries for the other two House Republicans who voted for impeachment, Washington State Representative Jamie Herrera Butler and Dan Newhouse, were too early to call Wednesday morning. The three races were the biggest tests yet for GOP incumbents who broke with Mr. Trump after the January 6th Capitol attack. Mr. Trump campaigned against the 10 House Republicans who crossed party lines for the impeachment vote, and he endorsed GOP challengers to them in the midterm elections. In other races, Representative Haley Stevens ousted Representative Andy Levin from Congress after prevailing in their Democratic primary in Michigan. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Kansas voters have turned down a ballot measure. It would have allowed state lawmakers to tighten restrictions on abortion or ban the procedure entirely in Kansas. The legendary Hall of Fame broadcaster, known to many as the poet laureate of baseball, has died. Dodgers announcer Vin Scully, he called games for an amazing 67 years, passed away last night at his home in Los Angeles. Back in 2017, he told an interviewer that he was truly blessed.
In God's grace that allowed me to work 67 years, allowed me to live as long as I have lived. So anything and everything that I might receive, plaudits from the crowd, etc., I still believe it was given to me through God's grace.
Vin Scully was 94 years old. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 228 points, the Nasdaq 161 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
A Kentucky man headed to prison for a $370,000 COVID relief loan scam.
David Christopher Lewis will also have to pay full restitution for using false pretenses to accept $370,000 in Paycheck Protection loans under a federal COVID assistance program. The government forgives those loans if the money is used for payroll, rent, or other approved expenses. In his plea agreement, Lewis admitted to submitting fraudulent applications in 2020 for the loans on behalf of businesses related to a Comic-Con-style event that he'd organized in previous years and about employment and payroll records. I'm Julie Walker.
A record amount of seaweed is smothering Caribbean coasts from Puerto Rico to Barbados. Tons of brown algae kill wildlife, choke the tourism industry, and release toxic gases. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Texas City, scene of a school shooting in May, revokes a gun show agreement.
The Uvalde, Texas City Council has voted to rescind a deal that would have allowed a gun group to hold a fundraising event in a city-owned hall. Uvalde is where 19 children and 2 teachers were fatally shot at Robb Elementary School on May 24th. The City Council voted 4-1 Monday to rescind a rental agreement with Friends of the NRA. An angry crowd had denounced the event, which would have included the raffle of a semi-automatic rifle similar to the one used by the 18-year-old gunman in the school attack. The San Antonio Express reported the group has held similar events in the hall for about 15 years. I'm Mike Rossi.
Having departed Taiwan, House Speaker Pelosi is on to South Korea. Pelosi says the U.S. maintains an ironclad commitment to Taiwan and to democracies around the globe. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. See? If you were in the room, you would wonder why we're all weirdly laughing right now, but I can't say it on the radio.
This is why
it's not radio friendly.
This is why we need our after-hours show.
There you go.
We do a version of our show in the bar with,
We could do it. We could do it. Well, yeah, we don't consider the podcast. I need to do something that doesn't require me more hours of editing and doing something.
We're trying to figure out how to maximize our not doing anything.
Yeah. I love to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If I could turn it on and pontificate, then turn it off, and that's all I got to do, then I'm good. But it's a little bit more than that to make a podcast. Trust me. And all those people that try to make podcasts, you're probably learning that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, if you want to learn how to do a good podcast, you talk to a radio guy.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, every successful, huge podcaster out there, most of them have radio backgrounds.
Not wrong.
And because they know how to broadcast a podcast, because doing a talk show on the radio is the closest thing to doing a relevant podcast.
In fairness, they also knew when to fold them, walk away, and I guess in some cases run.
Yeah.
We haven't figured that out yet. That's the problem. They learned the lessons of radio and then got out of it.
Yeah. Well, and this is, if we're talking history and evolution, if you want to know where the 90s shock jockery and all that went, it's on the internet and podcasting now. That's where they all went to. Pretty much every shock jock of the 90s is now on a podcast.
That's true. or satellite radio. That's where they're relegated.
Yeah, well, satellite, they'll put them on there for a while, and then they get fired or moved.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens, unless you're Howard Stern. And he can do one show a week, and they'll pay him $1 billion. And he's got to that point where he just goes into a mic and goes, and he gets like paid $1 million.
Right.
So. Well, yeah, he was the revolutionary that broke when we talk about radio and he was definitely one of the originators. I mean, there was a couple guys that you could probably say were parallel stories and
So I wouldn't say parallel, but I would say that there's a couple of origin stories that are some people latch onto. Like you're a Stern guy. I was always an Opie and Anthony guy.
Yeah.
I know some folks that specifically only listen to like Ron and Fez or Don and Mike, or that they had their shows.
See, well, Don and Mike got me into it because when I grew up in D.C., Don and Mike was the first. Like in all fairness, this is getting a little old. In the 70s, when I was like 4 to 8 years in that ballpark there. I was my mother listened to oldie station, which was back then would have been like 50s doo-wopping and all that stuff. And there was in the DC area at the time, the radio station was WPGC, and it was an oldie station, and they had a morning show called Elliott and Woodside, and they were the big morning, and they were kind of the precursor to your Stern. They were the more morning zoo.
Right.
Burnt toast and coffee time, 702. And then they do stuff like that. And they had their jingles, and they did a couple parody spoof songs. Like I remember they did one called, remember the song Pac-Man Fever?
Yeah.
Pac-Man. They did one called Pothole Fever. And it was to the tune of Pac-Man Fever. And it was a DC thing. And then they would play they even play a little of those like Dr. Demento, psych type songs and things like "They're coming to take me away, hee hee ha ha, to the funny farm where life is simple all the time." Those they play stuff like that.
Oh, my parents were into that.
You just wanted to flex and show how much that song you knew. I like that.
Well, these are earworms that are stuck in my head for eternity.
And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away. How? Of course, they live there. That's why I don't know math.
Yeah, right. I can't help you with relevance, but if you need uselessness, I'm on it.
My dad had records of that.
Yeah. I listened to a few of those too back in the day. But so that was like my pre-listen, like that's when I first started paying attention to radio and all that. And then Don and Mike showed up on, by the way, WPGC is now the rap station. And it's been the rap station for like 30 years. But back in the late 70s, early 80s, it was the oldie station. And then WAVA was a rock station. They were in the 80s. It flipped to rock. And then they hired Don Geronimo and Mike O'Mara as their morning show guys. And they ended up sticking together and they syndicated. And then but years later they went to JF because WAVA turned to a Christian station. And right around that time
is when JFK
took over talk radio in DC, and Stern was syndicated to DC, and so he showed up there, and that was his second syndication. He obviously New York, where he based out of. Philly was his first.
That's where Ron and Fez started, because it was the Ron and Ron show before. Fez was just one of the assistants, and then the other Ron quit.
Yeah,
so it became Ron and Fez.
And so when DC got him, and then Don and Mike got fired from WAVA because they went Christian, and the Morning Zoo shock jockery doesn't work on a Christian radio station. So they were in limbo for a little bit, and then JFK said, "We're going to talk all the time." And they put Don and Mike on at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And so they were the afternoon drive. So they go from like 3 to 6 or something like that.
And the 90s was such a sweet spot for just like FM talk radio. It was such a sweet spot.
And then they had a couple things in the middle. But, and then they brought in the G. Gordon Liddy.
Oh, God.
And G. Gordon Liddy was the midday guy. Stern would go till 11, and then they debuted G. Gordon Liddy on JFK.
I feel like that's a hard sell after Stern, though.
Well, yes and no, because it was...
No, that works actually pretty well.
Well, because Liddy's leaned political, but he's crazy.
He was as crazy as Stern was, just in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and so he caught on because when he's telling all his political thoughts, then he starts telling you stories about how to get over his fear of rats, he would cook and eat them. And then, or to get over his fear of a thunderstorm, he had someone lash him to a tree during a thunderstorm as a kid. You know, and it's like, who does these things? Weirdos, you know. And then he starts telling you factoids like you can eat any mammal on the planet with the exception of the liver of a polar bear because it's too toxic. I'm like, well,
all right.
So to this day, I know that because of G. Gordon Liddy, and I haven't had to use that piece of information. But maybe one day I'm going to be in the tundra and I'm hungry. There's a polar bear. Better don't eat the liver.
Don't eat that liver. Thanks, G. Gordon Liddy.
But and so that was there, and then they went baller because DC 101 finally fired the Grease Man.
Oh, waddle doodle.
And the Grease Man was the big morning drive guy before Stern came. So when Stern originally, he did DC by himself before he went to New York. He was in DC. He was on DC 101, which is the longtime rock station. To be honest, they stopped updating their music catalog around 1997. To this day, I go back to home and I turn on DC 101. I guarantee either Beastie Boys, Stone Temple Pilots, or Trapped will be playing on the radio. Or they even throw in a few like those 90s what's his name? Oh, the Whitey Ford sings the blues. What's that guy?
Yeah, just left my head too. Thanks. If you hadn't said Whitey, it's God bless it.
What is it? Oh shoot!
I know you're talking about.
Wasn't he like in Cypress Hill or one of these bands, and then he went solo?
He was in. He also did. He did the jumper.
Yeah, but anyway, he had
House of Pain. What's his name?
Yeah. No,
right?
No, I can't remember this. Anyway,
right? It's as soon as you start trying to think of it,
they play
that's
it
when it
like
goes
ad nauseum.
This is all the time for us.
And but their morning guy was the Grease Man, and
Everlast.
Everlast. Thank you. Yeah, that's them.
I was going to say Everclear. I'm like, that's not it.
That's a different thing. Popular around the 80s and 90s. But
also a band.
Yes. But so Greaseman got fired from there, and so JFK hired him to come on after Don and Mike. So at one point, the lineup, and this is to this day is my all-star in my head lineup as far as you could turn on the radio all day long and I'm entertained. Stern from 6 to 11.
Right.
G. Gordon Liddy from 11 to 3. Don and Mike from 3 to 7. The Grease Man from 7 to 11. And then Pharrell doing sports from like 11 till dark something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sports
and
animal,
it was
crazy.
it was the high water mark of my radio listening days.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
That
but
was
Stern was doing a 5-hour show.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, well,
back in the day.
Well, 4 to 5. He was contracted to 10. He always went to 11. Sometimes he went live till 11. Other times, so the show used to end at 10, but then he kept going longer and longer and longer. And so finally, they said, "All right, you're going to go to 11. If you don't finish at 11, we're going to just play the replay or best of until 11," because they were screwing with everybody's clocks and everything, because he's like, dude, your show's over at 10. I got a whole nother show that's supposed to start now. You're pontificating for the it was the cowboy days of radio. Right. But so his show floated. You know, sometimes he'd get off the air, and literally in those especially those lighter years of terrestrial, I'm tired, I'm done, I'm out, and then he's gone. They're like, all right, let's play some best of, and that's what he did. But he would definitely contract till 10. And then, depending on his mood, he'd go to 11. He may go to 10:20. He may go to 10:05 and say, I'm out. It's just what he felt like doing. So, but anyway, I don't know how I got on a dissertation of my radio world. That's what I just did.
We go down wormholes. It happens.
Yeah. I don't think our guest is coming.
I'm going to.
Yeah, nobody's here. Roy's sitting quietly in his room, so I don't think anything's going on. So we're going to play our interview we had with the folks from the Health Council on Monday. Just giving those final notes about this Saturday's health fair. Don't forget also they've got the Boys and Girls Club doing the fun run right before the Health Council, the Health Expo.
The Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. They're going to start the run. 6:30 is when they're going to do registration and everything. It's 80s themed. So you don't have to, but come out in your favorite 80s costuming to go fun run or walk or, as long as it's not motor propelled, they don't care.
My suggestion, Flamehead Michael Jackson.
There you go.
Yeah. Pepsi spokesman Michael Jackson.
Maybe have a stick with a Pepsi on a string and he's running towards it, but as
flames shooting out of the back of your head. Yeah.
But
you're not propelled by those.
But they're like, you want to skateboard or rollerblade or scoot it or not the ones at the city.
See, that's what I was going to say. Can I show up on a bird scooter?
No motor, self-propelled by you, the person.
I still have $20 sitting in an account waiting to use one of those.
I mean, use it, but you're cheating.
Yeah.
In the fun run.
I'm having fun.
The point is to get active and have exercise. And I'm pretty sure when the scooter does the work for you, you're not getting much exercise. I'm not an expert or nothing, but, I mean, there is some physical needs because you got to have balance. Because if you don't, you're going to crash. I've watched people do it.
Right.
By the way, I saw one kid eat it big time. Oh, man, he was in, it might have been the Clara. It was one of those parking lots, actually, right? One of the hotel parking lots. And I'm driving down Main Street, and I see that it's like 2 or 3 kids, and they're kind of, zipping around on those things in the parking lot, having fun. And this one kid, I don't know if he tried to, do a Dukes of Hazzard slide, but that thing kicked out, and then it took him over and tumbleweeded himself right down the... I was like, ooh, that looked bad. I didn't get a chance to stop because I'm doing
That's when you slow down.
And I'm like, ooh, that looked bad. And I keep going.
Circle back around the block.
That's right.
Pull out the phone, snap a couple pictures.
Yeah, but that kid ate it good. He was, I'm sure there was some crying after that one.
I'm far too careful to have a bad accident on one of those things.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to have an accident on one of those things.
Yeah, I could see you.
It's not going to be a horrible one because I feel like I'm not going to put myself in a position to let it be horrible.
I don't know. I could see your guys is going to be something like you hit a rock or something,
that's
and
what
it's
I'm
going to stop that front wheel, and you're going to
get to a decent rate of speed and finally get some confidence. I'm going to hit a single rock in a parking lot. I'm going to go keister over tea kettle.
That you will do. I'd bet money on that.
I just hope someone's filming when it happens.
Well, let me know. I'll go.
I don't like putting myself out there unless I'm going to actually have the footage to back it up.
Get you a GoPro.
That's what I've been pitching to Gene for a year now.
Yeah, strap it on your head and go around there and do it. I think you can get them for cheap now, right?
You can get one of those chest packs.
Actually,
watching you.
Oh yeah.
What you need to do is we had a guy at the Tate Branch remote on Sunday, standing out in the parking lot with a VR goggles. He was flying a drone over the dealership, taking video.
Oh, yeah. On Saturday at Honda, they had a drone out there. Really? I don't know if he was wearing VR. I didn't see him. Right. I just saw the drone.
But yeah, he's like flying and from the perspective. He's seeing everything from the perspective of the camera.
I wonder if it's the same guy. I don't know how that all works. So do they drive with VR now?
Drone guy.
I know, but so they don't drive with the sticks and the little remote control car thing anymore.
I think he had the sticks and stuff, but he was on the screen on his VR was watching what the drone was seeing.
I got this real quick because we got to get to the interview. But I watched on the news last night. Speaking of all this VR and haptics and everything, now they're doing, because they're advancing into this meta, fully immersed thing, the next level. But now they're putting where the technology is on touch screens. It is crazy. Like they did this story where you can now it's like you can feel. Like so they put they had a picture of a dude with a beard. And the reporter started grabbing the screen and you're like, I don't feel nothing here. And then he touched the beard and it felt like a beard. While he's touching a computer screen.
That's crazy.
And he touched like a beard. And he's like, oh my God, it feels like a beard. And he's wearing the VR mask. They had like a mask thing, but it's got some deal where it uses audio. And so the guy was like looking through the VR and he's like walking through the rain and he's feeling the audio. They're actually blowing audio at him, which is a sound wave. So it's actual. And it's hitting. I guess your lips have a very sensitive part on your skin there, and so it's hitting it. And the guy swore, he goes, "It's raining on my face right now," and he could have sworn it was raining on his face.
So weird. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it.
It scared me a little bit too. I was like, "Oh my gosh, iRobot's coming. We're gonna die."
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're creating the thing that's going to destroy us. The singularity.
We're just going to be juice for the machines.
Well, they're going to need somebody to fix the machines, so.
Well,
engineers?
Maybe not. They're going to get too smart for us, and we're going to lose. We're done. So enjoy your
optimism.
Yeah, go outside and experience rain. All right, 8:23. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Wall-to-wall sunshine coming our way for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia today. Another scorcher with highs close to 105. And we have the possibility of just a pop-up thunderstorm here or there, primarily for the afternoon and evening time. If you can get a storm going, it'll be a slow mover drawing in some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low 75. A few storms tomorrow, the high 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently, I got to get to my weather. Sorry about that. Currently, 82 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 40%. Winds currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour. It's monsoon season, so it's pretty much the same every day. 20% chance at some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly sunny, hot, 103 for our high today. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Tonight, we're looking at a 40% chance at some showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight. They do say if we do get some storms tonight, could produce some heavy rainfall. So hopefully get a little rainfall, but not where it's flooding everybody. But I'm knocking on wood, making that happen. Thursday, we're looking at a 30% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Once again, they're saying some of those storms could produce some heavy rain. Partly cloudy, 99 for a high tomorrow, with north winds 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny, 99 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then looking at the weekend, mostly sunny, 98 on Saturday, sunny and 97 on Sunday. Yeah, after Thursday night, there is no talk of rain until Monday. So no mention of rain as of right now for the weekend for us. But it's New Mexico. It'll change because that's what it does. So we'll see. But right now, dry weekend. All right, it is 8:25. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had earlier this week with the folks from the Chaves County Health Council. We also had Rick Lamb with Boys and Girls Club join us, too. So we're going to play that interview on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Time for the 86th Annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds. This year, it's all about honoring our heritage. Come enjoy the Arts and Crafts Showcase, the Carnival, Extreme Bulls event, the PRCA Rodeo, the livestock shows, commercial vendors, and some of the best fair food in the state. And of course, the concert series with Ramon Ayala y sus Bravos del Norte de la Leyenda, Friday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 2nd, Randall King takes the stage at 9:30.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Wednesday, August 3rd, it's Zach Williams at 9:30.
He's a chain breaker.
Thursday, August 4th, don't miss the Randy Rogers Band at 9:30. Friday, August 5th, it's Joe Nichols at 9:30.
Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall off.
And Cody Johnson on Saturday, August 6th at 9:30. Admission is free Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday all day, and every day before 5. $10 for adults, kids 6 to 12, $5, and 5 and under are free. More info at leecountyfair.net. See you at the Lee County Fair, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds.
Roswell Nissan presents a WPBR and PBR Rodeo Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 12th and 13th at the Bob Crosby Arena. Get ready for 2 days jam-packed with bands, Bulls and Barbecue. It all kicks off on Friday, August 12th as the men and women take the reins of some of the meanest bulls you've ever seen, with riders from Texas, Arizona, and even south of the border. Then get ready as El Chapo and Concierto Espectáculo Ecuestre con sus caballos de alta escuela take the stage. Then on Saturday, get ready for even more pro bull riding and the first annual Smokers Outpost Barbecue Competition, with up to $3 grand in cash prizes for the best in brisket, whole chicken, and baby back ribs. Then stick around for Los Terrenos de la Feria de Roswell and the Justin Kent Band live. WPBR and PBR Rodeo Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 12th and 13th at the Bob Crosby Arena, presented by Roswell Nissan.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 38 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, of course, Jennifer and Carrie Moore back with us from the Chavez County Health Council. Rick Lamb back with us as well from Boys and Girls Club. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
How's everybody doing today? Good.
Alive and well.
Jennifer's a little not as bushy-tailed as she was last Monday. She's a little
busy.
haggard. I can see you're looking a little like. Well, good news is we're days away now. Officially days away from the Health Expo. It's this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will officially with the fun run at 7. Officially, right?
Yep.
And then
set up to 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30 is when you can get there and get set up. But running starts at 7 for you last minute people. They're going to wake up at 6:57 to get out there. Yeah, I got you. And then of course right after that, about 8 a.m., everything will kick underway for this year's Health Expo. Out all of it, everything at the Convention and Civic Center.
Yep.
So.
We're all inside.
Good deal.
With
inside.
air conditioning.
And air conditioning, yes. Well, see, here's the problem with this year. And I don't know why. They threw in humidity this year. Like, this is the first year I've seen to be this humid the whole time, you know?
It's miserable.
Yeah.
The restaurant, we're sitting at like 56% humidity all day long.
Now, people back east would laugh at us if we said that.
Yeah. I know.
But
they know how to sweat.
We
don't.
laugh at you when you say it's 95 and they're like, it's hot. It's like, shut up. So there's that. But yeah, this humidity thing's kind of, I'm very glad that you guys are all inside the refrigerated air convention center. So very good. Now, if you're going to be in the fun run, you're running at 7 in the morning, so it's not going to be too bad yet.
It should be nice and cool.
Just the pro tip. Now, if you're just hearing about it, the fun run is it's part of the Health Expo, but that's the Boys and Girls Club here in Roswell. That they're organizing and put that event together, and it is a fundraising event for the Boys and Girls Club. So when you come participate and you pay your fee and all that, you're supporting Boys and Girls Club with that.
Yes.
So definitely a good thing. And you can show on up Saturday morning and run, right? There's still you like people to pre-register and things to guarantee they get T-shirts and stuff. But if you didn't do any of that, you may get a T-shirt. You may not get a T-shirt, or you may get a T-shirt that's way too big or way too small. Yeah. But you get to support the run and have fun and do all that. Mm-hmm. Now, tell them the theme. I know they say I talk too much, so I'm going to let you tell them the theme.
It's Footloose Fun Run, so it's 80s. So dress up in your 80s outfits. Literally, it's just to have fun and support the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. Now, if you want to take it seriously as an athletic event and run your hardest, God bless you. Mm-hmm. Have fun with it. You'll get, there are prizes and things for the top runners and all of that, but you ain't have to. If you're like, I just want to support Boys and Girls Club, I want to get a little exercise, enjoy some sun, and it gives me an excuse to dress like Michael Jackson or Max Headroom or Kevin Bacon, Footloose Kevin Bacon. Yeah. Not like A Few Good Men Kevin Bacon.
Madonna.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper.
What's the rule on Stranger Things? If youngins want to come out as Stranger Things, what's that rule there? Because that's a slippery slope. Because it's a TV show that's now, but it's set in the 80s. And it's all things 80s.
I think as long as you're wearing an 80s outfit.
Okay. So if you dress like the characters from Stranger Things, you would be in 80s apparel because they're set in the 80s, looking like the 80s.
Exactly.
So we'll count that as for the fun run.
Yeah.
If it was a serious run, that we wouldn't accept that. But because it's a fun run, we'll accept it.
No, I think if it was a serious run, we would accept it too. Because Stranger Things is very serious, man.
It is. It's good too. I've got 2 episodes left. Are you guys watching it? Have you all watched it?
I already watched it.
You've seen it all?
Been there, done that.
Okay, I'm a little behind. I've watched season 3 and now finishing season 4 in the last week or 2 weeks here. So I'm a bit.
You're behind the times.
I got caught up to season 2 and then I just didn't watch season 3. I got wrapped up and then season 4 came out. I was like, I haven't seen season 3 yet. Now I'm 2 episodes away. I got the big 2 left, and then I heard they're doing one more season.
One more season.
Yeah,
One more.
So very good. So, according to the rule makers here, you can wear your Stranger Things stuff to the fun run here. But I would like to see obscure 80s references, like TV shows that weren't necessarily big hits, but were kind of like if someone dressed as Beastmaster.
That would be epic.
I would be now be careful, because you're a hair away from indecent exposure. But if you do the Beastmaster, because he wears like a little loincloth thing, and that's about it. But he talked. Y'all remember the Beastmaster?
Yeah, and unfortunately, in my head, I went to several people around town who could pull that off.
The Beastmaster?
Yes, and I was
would
like,
love
little Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah. You know, or maybe like The Last Starfighter, or one of those more obscure sci-fi movies that don't have the popularity. They didn't catch on and run like people aren't 30 years later going, remember The Last Starfighter? No one's doing that.
It was a great movie, though.
It was. For what it was, I enjoyed it as a kid, Silverado is one of my favorite movies of the 80s. You ever remember seeing that movie?
I actually
It's a Western, but...
I grew up on Westerns. My dad loved Westerns.
Yeah.
So
you remember that movie Silverado? It's a who's who of stars. It was an 80s cowboy Western. It starred, Kevin Kline was Peyton. Kevin Costner, a young, unfamous Kevin Costner, was in it. Who else was in it? Brian Dennehy, Danny Glover, Rosanna Arquette. Who else am I missing?
Oh, yeah, it's a who's who of
It is.
Yeah.
It's The Fly. What's his name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, he's in it. The Fly. That's why I couldn't remember it. That's why I went to The Fly. Another 80s movie that's fly. Go as Fly. Gremlin Fry. Or what was his name? In The Fly? Grumble Fly, or whatever he was, or whatever he was called in that thing.
It's been a very long time since I saw that movie.
Or if you're like me and you can't remember that much of the 80s because, well,
You
there was a lot of tequila involved.
Yeah, right.
Just neon pinks, greens, turquoise tracksuit,
whatever.
some Reebok, some Keds.
Feather your hair, do all that.
No, it's crimping and Aquanet at 10 feet, 10 inches high.
Well, if you're a dude, you feather. If you're a dude, you feather with the butt part, the middle, and then feather it out.
Be creative is the point.
But come out and have some fun. And like I said, you'll be done, roughly around 8, unless you take a little longer. But, whenever you get done there. And you do, and then make your way into the Health Expo. As far as signups right now for like the mammograms and all that, is that still available?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be available up to the day of. So.
Okay.
And they'll do walk-ins too. So.
Okay. But if you can, especially if you have insurance and everything, please pre-register, and that way
it'll save you time.
It'll save you a whole bunch of time, and that way also, if you're kind of a narrow-minded. You don't have narrow window of time. That's what I was trying to say. Not narrow-minded. That's another discussion for another day. A narrow window of time. That way you can kind of, I'm only available from 10 to 11. Okay, well, let's schedule an appointment in there. But between 8 and noon, because the expo's over at noon on Saturday.
Well, the mammogram bus is going to be there until 5.
Oh, so they'll be going on after
Yeah,
noon,
so if you can't come in the morning, come in the afternoon, and they'll be there.
But if you do have that narrow window, pre-register, and that way you can get exactly what works best for you, assuming it's not filled up
already. There's no guarantee that if you come in really late that the funding will still be there, because that's a first come, first serve. And once it's out, it's out.
Okay, so if you need the free or the funded provided by, because you don't have insurance or whatever, definitely pre-register early, but get the early times because, like you said, that's a first come, first serve. Yes. And I'm guessing by 5 p.m. they'll probably be out of the money at that, or at least in that part of the afternoon.
That's what we're hoping. We're hoping we get that many.
Yeah. So especially during the expo time till noon, that's probably going to be the sweet spot. But please do it. Please sign up for it. And it is, and to be honest, that one you don't, right? It's not like your glucose and all that. There's nothing you have to pre-do for mammograms. Yeah, you just got to go and do it.
Show up and get squished.
Yeah, but if you do take some of the lab work screenings for glucose and all that, don't forget to fast. That's because you're wasting your time if you don't. If you're trying to check for glucose and all that, see if you have diabetes or anything like that. If you have a full breakfast, it's going to skew the numbers and they're not going to get accurate. So you got to fast for like 12 hours or something. Usually midnight. They always tell me midnight. Don't eat or drink after midnight, like the gremlins.
Like gremlins, yeah. Yep.
Which you can go as in the
exactly.
What's some of the other booths and things that we want to let folks know that are going to be on hand at Saturday's Health Expo?
Oh gosh, we got the walkthrough colon again.
Good.
So that's going to be front and center.
Can you put it on the course and then they can run through it?
It might be a little hard to get it back inside after that, but you can come run through it if you want to afterwards. We won't stop you.
How many people can say, today I was dressed as Short Circuit Johnny number 5 running through a giant colon?
Yeah.
That's,
definitely.
That's Facebook or worthy or TikTok or Instagram picture worthy.
That's
as far
true.
As I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, we'll have Western Sky Community Care there. They're providing backpacks for kids to come and get. So there's over 250 backpacks going to be available. Those are also first come, first serve.
And that'll be helpful, especially because tax-free weekends, like after school kids go back to school. So if you're thinking, man, I can't wait till tax-free weekend and all that, come out to the fair and then you can get them started at least, and then you can wait till tax-free to finish up whatever they need.
All the backpacks are going to have basic school supplies. So, even if your kid's not ready for the first couple days, whenever they go back for their first full week,
they'll be ready.
Oh, yeah.
So this Saturday, come out and help out, or come out and get while supplies last.
Yes.
So whenever we say while supplies last, you want to be there closer to 8 than closer to 12. That's
the last time we gave away backpacks. They were gone within the first hour.
Yeah.
So be there at 8.
About the same amount. Too.
Yeah.
So
it's
and it's not like they don't have a couple. They have 100. They have a ton to give away, and so it just goes fast. It's just the nature of the beast here.
And we also have Olympian Beauty Academy going to be there. They're giving out haircut coupons
cool.
for free haircuts.
That's kind of a tradition for them, isn't it? Where they help out the community every year by giving out these vouchers for free haircuts for kids and everything, because everyone wants to look sharp day one. It's kind of a thing. So
and you can go and schedule it whenever you need.
Yeah, that way you can go there and get it done and take care of it after work or after school or whenever it's convenient for you. So good deal. There's something else I was going to ask and just spaced out there. There's something I was going to say and I just can't remember what it was.
Well, I can also say that I've been going crazy shopping for giveaways.
Okay.
And people are going to want to come.
Got some sweet swag to give away?
Yeah, I've spent about $6,000 on prizes for the expo, and there's some sweet stuff. I'm not going to say specifics because I want people to come and see.
Now, are the giveaways for kids and adults or all ages?
We've got some that are going to be specifically for kids, of course, bikes and scooters, and we've got some gift cards for like shoes and clothes.
So adult fun too.
And there's going to be some adult stuff. We've got some tech gifts.
Okay.
That we're going to give away and some household items that are pretty sweet.
Very good. Good deal. So good variety of stuff.
I saw the list and I really wanted one of everything.
We don't have to give these away, right?
My son was going shopping
these are volunteer
with me
gifts.
and he's like looking like, oh, I want that. I want that.
Although maybe it'll hold a few back and use them for volunteers. That's a way to dangle carrot to get more volunteers.
Oh, we are gonna do a giveaway for our booth vendors again this year.
Good deal.
So we're
Good
gonna
deal.
have
and
a little
speaking
bit
of volunteers, while you threw that one out there, if there is anybody who needs some volunteer time, we are still looking for volunteers. To help with the run in the morning because we have to block the streets.
Okay.
And then to help with the vendor registration at the booth.
Just logistics of making making sure everything goes
it's
properly.
Nothing super difficult. There's not a manual labor type thing to it. You're going to be sitting and handing out stuff to people. So it's
if you
easy.
can talk to people and hand things to them, then you can do this job.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And if you need those volunteer hours, we can sign off on them.
Okay.
We are a nonprofit, so
good deal.
It usually counts for that type of stuff.
Excellent. And, of course, if you don't want to run in the run, but you have a sweet 80s gig, maybe you just dress up in your 80s and work as a...
Oh, yeah.
You know, hey, don't go this way, go this way.
Oh, man, that would make a terrific traffic cop.
Police Academy.
Yep.
You got the whole cast of Police Academy done up right, and they're the ones monitoring traffic for the fun run, the Footloose Fun Run. I'm telling you, if Tackleberry says don't go this way, I'm not going this way. That's just how it works. So. There's a whole generation of people like, who the heck are they talking to? Who's this guy? Is he smoking dope? What's wrong with this guy?
Hey, maybe we'll see the movies rise on like the charts and stuff because everybody's going to see it now.
All of a sudden, there's a whole generation of people think this Master of Puppets is a pretty good song all of a sudden. You know? Like, yeah, it's not new. But definitely do that. Oh, by the way, since we're talking Boys and Girls Club, this is a good time to start signing up your children here as we're getting back to school and things for the fall programs. You guys have a lot in store here for the fall for the kids there, don't you?
Oh, we got a ton of stuff in store. We're working on potentially a new STEM center. We actually have different scholarships for both Pecos and Nancy Lopez schools.
Sweet.
And it's a first come, first serve basis. You know, they can either call us 550-5001. They can stop by. I'm going to be at Nancy Lopez actually Wednesday when they have their open house to talk to them as well.
Okay.
So we're doing everything we can to give as many opportunities for these kids.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for after school things that your children can be a part of here, that Boys and Girls Club, they've got you covered. It's a great way. And the great news is it's if your kids in school, they're elementary, middle, high school, there's opportunities for all of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Back to the Health Expo. Again, it's 8 to noon officially on Saturday. Like you said, for those that are going to be signed up for the mammograms, they are doing those appointments through 5 p.m. that day. Yes. But pre-register if you can. If you space, don't come on out. They'll do their best to try to work in and all that stuff. But
yeah. So we also so we have the mammograms. You mentioned the glucose. We have dental screening, BMI, mental health, blood pressure, vision screening for adults and kids.
Okay.
Skin cancer, vaccinations, and then this year we've got some demonstrations going on.
Yes.
So we've got some little Tai Chi in one of the rooms. We've got senior fitness demo, meditation because we all need to learn how to relax a little bit.
I imagine that's a quiet session, the meditation one.
One would hope so.
I would think, all right, it's not like a basketball game rolls in or something. Like,
I have a bullhorn. I could just stir it up a little bit. We've got physicians doing their presentations. We've got insurance presentations. Who's got the big room?
Oh, UNM research team is doing some listening sessions.
Okay.
And
they'll
that'll
have their own little giveaway for that.
Well, they've been doing a lot of UNM, like with COVID and a lot of that. They've been doing a lot of statewide question and answer sessions. I know you guys have hosted several of them.
Yeah, and this is part of that. This is kind of wrapping up their research.
And some of it they're giving you information, but they're also learning from you. And they're kind of like, well, what are people thinking about this? What are so they're kind of using the information you give them and taking that and trying to either give you correct answers or find out why people think the way they think on this and all that.
That's what this listening session is. They're going to ask questions and then they're just going to get all your answers.
Sure.
And this one's going to be broken down. So they'll do an English only version. And then after that, there will be a Spanish only version. Right. So that way we can hit everybody.
And what I love about this, it takes the politics out of COVID and those kind of things. And that's what we want to do here. Because I know we live in this world where everyone's telling you, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, do this, don't do this, da-da-da-da-da. These are the kind of sessions that break down and give you that information and tell you what's working, what's not working, and so it takes the politics out of it. And it's just we're talking health. We're talking COVID, seriousness, who should be taking it seriously, who shouldn't or shouldn't have to, and you know what I mean, things like that. It's to dispel and separate all that and get all the jargon and nonsense that politicians do to these kinds of things. But that's another conversation for another day. But that's what it's all about, is to learn that, a place for you to come, learn the details, find out what's best for you to protect you and do what you need to do for you. So that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, you definitely want to check out the demonstrations, because it's like locals, because even some of the young kids and stuff are doing some of their floor shows and things too out there too. So that's part of the entertainment too. Is there anything else in there that we want to make sure we know we get them on the radar?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. We had, I think there's 23 this year.
Awesome.
So we had Carrie over here at Bewitches, Character Counts in Chaves County, Boys and Girls Club of Chaves and Lincoln Counties, Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, Humana, Olympian Beauty Academy, Western Sky Community Care, Chimera Independent Physicians, the City of Roswell, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico, Chaves County DWI, New Mexico Department of Health Rehabilitation Center, Be Well New Mexico, Southern Area Health Education Center, La Casa Family Health Center, Trans Aero Medevac, Alzheimer's Association, Familia Dental, Kremlin Auto Group, Loveless Hospital, Interim Healthcare, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, and Chaves County CASA.
Nice. Thank you to every one of those.
Oh, gosh. We couldn't have done it without everybody.
Yeah,
and
the events wouldn't happen without those folks.
Yeah, their support really helped us this year. And since we had so many, we are able to give back to the community so much.
Although you just put a vision I want to see in my head now. I want to see at the fair, I know this is not going to happen, but maybe in the future, we have two booths. There's Be Well NM, Be Witches, right next to each other. Be Well and Be Witches, right next to each other.
And then what are we doing? Are we going to box
I don't know.
out?
I just want to see, well, you could be well or be witches. What do you want to do?
I'll fling a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a theme there we can work on.
That'd be awesome.
What do you want? You want to be well? You want to be witches? But definitely come on out Saturday. 7 a.m. is the start time for the fun run. 6:30 is when they start registering everybody. Everything's right there in the parking lot there at the convention center. And then, of course, 8 a.m. is when the actual health expo gets underway. Everything is all encompassing, all there at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Come on out, completely free to enter and walk in and walk around and all that stuff. And sign up for some of the advanced stuff. But if you just want to walk around, like you said, if you're looking for actual screenings to get, great, we got you covered. But if you're actually looking for information to like,
Your rain. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low 75. A few storms tomorrow, the high 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. American employers posted fewer job openings in June as the economy dealt with raging inflation and rising interest rates. The Labor Department said job openings fell to a still high 10.7 million. So far this year, employers have added an average of 457,000 jobs a month, and unemployment sits near a 50-year low. In corporate earnings, Starbucks reported record revenue in the April to June period, benefiting from higher prices as well as hundreds of new store openings. And Airbnb reports a profit of $379 million for the second quarter. It says bookings were a record. Wall Street has yet to gain ground in August. The major indexes stumbled again yesterday, with the Dow dropping 402 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 also closed lower. For the Wall Street Business...
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect, and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Find your path to a greater future at Eastern New Mexico University. With degrees offered both on campus and online, ENMU has the flexibility that you're looking for, and with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, New Mexico residents can now start, continue, or finish their bachelor's degree tuition-free at ENMU. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:56. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us and talk about the Trip Down Memory Lane drive-through fundraising event as they honor 40 years of Heritage Dinner recipients. So we'll talk more with that with Amy next hour. Hey, this weekend's the big weekend in the village of Lincoln. The Old Lincoln Days, the last escape of Billy the Kid pageant, all happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in beautiful Lincoln, New Mexico. It's if you've never participated, you've got to do it at least once. It's really fun. They do Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. They do the highlight of the weekend is the last escape of Billy the Kid pageant. And if you've ever been to Lincoln, there at the courthouse, there's you see the courthouse there. It's one street town. It's not much to, it's really hard to get lost there. But at one end of the town there, they got the courthouse, and that's run by the National Park Service. They have all the, that's where Billy Kid escaped, and you can go and tour it and everything else. But right next to it is the pageant grounds, and there's the parking there. And for years and years, and long before long of us were put on this earth, they've been doing the pageant out there. And they basically reenact the Lincoln County War there, and it goes Friday night performances at 8:30, Saturday night performances at 8:30, and then the Sunday matinee at 3. Cost is $10 for adults 13 and older, $6 for children 6 to 12, and kids under 5 get in free. And your pageant ground, your tickets to the pageant also get you into the concerts that are happening before. Like Friday night, Michael Murphy will be doing the concert at 7 p.m. and then
yeah, you killed me yesterday with that, dude. A commercial came on, and for the rest of the day,
stuck in your head, a little wildfire. Yeah, that's an earworm that does not go away. But so he's going to be in concert Friday night to help get that earworm out of your head.
Damn you, Triple M.
And then, of course, they'll have live music Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon as well. The concert,
11 o'clock.
Actually, 11 o'clock is the parade, and the concert is at 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m., yeah.
And then 3 o'clock, they'll do The Last Escape of Billy Kid. You can get tickets right there at the door there in Lincoln. And come out and have some fun all 3 days. It's something. They have vendors and all kinds of like chuck wagon, little history demonstrations, and there's a lot of fun stuff to do there. So if you got some time, go up to Lincoln this weekend. And by the way, it's going to be 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it is here. So you get to enjoy all that fun in the cool pines of Lincoln, Nuevo Mexico. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I got a Seabiscuit. I'm getting Sean. Sean told me, we got to go, but Sean told me that he loves narrated programming. And for years, he says he's out on Seabiscuit. I'm like, well, if you love narrated programming, Seabiscuit's narrated by the narrator of all narrators. So, got to check it out.
I'm definitely going to have to.
106, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Communist China continuing to demonstrate its displeasure with House Speaker Pelosi's just concluded visit to Taiwan. Correspondent Ken Moritsugu in Beijing says China launching a series of live-fire military exercises near the island.
They held drills last night, and they've announced drills for the next few days. The most alarming one to people in Taiwan is starting Thursday. There will be drills for a few days in areas offshore around Taiwan, almost encircling the island. While there's no suggestion they would actually attack Taiwan, it obviously is concerning to the government and people on the ground there.
Pelosi assures Taiwan that the U.S. stands with the island democracy, which is viewed by China as a breakaway province, to be reunited with the mainland one way or the other. Another Republican who voted yes on the impeachment of President Trump will be out of a job. Michigan Congressman Peter Meyer lost his primary race to John Gibbs, who was endorsed by Mr. Trump. And abortion was on the ballot the other day in Kansas.
Kansas voters have rejected a ballot measure that would have allowed the Republican-controlled legislature to tighten restrictions on abortion or ban it altogether. Tuesday's referendum was the first test of voter sentiment after the U.S. Supreme Court in June overturned Roe v. Wade.
That's correspondent Donna Warder. Latest word on gas prices from AAA. The national average for a gallon of regular now $4.16. Legendary Los Angeles Dodgers broadcaster Vin Scully has died. Scully once credited God's grace for his marathon career and his long life. The Hall of Fame broadcaster called Dodgers games for 67 years and retired in 2016. Vin Scully passed away last night at home in Los Angeles. He was 94 years old. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 226 points. The Nasdaq trading 199 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
You find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. That's 800-859-6688.
The fight for the unborn is raging in our country. The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, clearing the way for many states to ban or severely limit abortion. The debates have never been stronger. During this critical time, the award-winning film, The Matter of Life, cuts through the rhetoric and hatred and exposes the real issues surrounding the plight of the unborn. The Matter of Life. Stream it today at salemnow.com and have your own life transformed as you watch The Matter of Life.
The first grain ship to depart Ukraine under a wartime deal is now steaming toward Lebanon after its cargo was inspected and approved earlier today. A team spent about 90 minutes conducting checks aboard the Sierra Leone-flagged Razoni, which was carrying Ukrainian corn and was anchored off Istanbul. The team included officials from Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, and the UN. The pictures tweeted by the Turkish Ministry of Defense show an inspector reaching into an open container on the vessel and touching the grain. China has blocked imports of citrus and fish from Taiwan, retaliation for the visit by House Speaker Pelosi, but Beijing avoided disrupting one of the world's most important tech and manufacturing relationships. Sanctions on Taiwanese processor chips for Chinese assemblers of smartphones and other electronics could send shockwaves throughout the global economy. Townhall.com. More testimony due today in Dallas, the capital murder trial of a Muslim man charged in the killings of his daughters.
Trial continues in Dallas today for the man accused of honor killings and the murders of his 2 daughters. Yasser Saeed is accused of shooting the daughters inside his taxi on New Year's Day back in 2008. He wasn't apprehended until 2020. He had been hiding with his son and his brother. They were sent to prison. Prosecutors say that Saeed killed his daughters because they were dating American boys. The Dallas County DA, who many say is soft on crime, says he will not seek the death penalty. Tasha Stevens reporting.
OPEC and its allies, including Russia, are scaling back the amount of increase in oil output. They will pump an extra 100,000 barrels of crude per day in September. That is far less than the additional 648,000 barrels per day in July and again in August. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Looks like the mic's way over there.
It's so far away.
I had to dive for it.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a fun day so far.
Yeah.
It's getting warm in here. I just started noticing. I was like, yeah, I'm getting the muggy sweats.
Just a couple more days of being 37.
That's right. You got a B-Day next week here.
Sunday.
What's any plans?
None. officially.
Yeah?
I don't have my kids, so...
You're kind of like me, though. You're like a low-key.
Kind of, yeah.
You don't really like...
Yeah, that being said, my friend is like one of the biggest party planners on the planet.
Yeah.
And every single year, it always happens. Like, we just forget. So sometime around probably today, she'll be like, oh, shoot, we need to do something for Sean.
Yeah.
It'll probably come up at some point.
Unless she's listening right now.
Right.
Which may be true.
I just found out she actually is doing, because she had satellite radio, but since she's been doing her side hustle.
Oh, okay.
She keeps us on in the car.
Nice. So you might out yourself.
That's fine. She knows I don't really mind one way or the other. You do something, cool, not cool.
Yeah. I've always been that one. I kind of like, and that's why I got rid of all Facebook and all that. Because I was like, I'm not going to make people do all that stuff. People feel the need to, and I'm not going to make you.
Don't force my hand. Yeah. Don't send me HBD.
That's so people that
I'm going to respond by saying HPV.
Yeah. And I'm not, weirdly enough, I don't like being the center of attention on stuff like that, oddly enough.
I totally understand.
I know I picked a weird career field to be that.
No,
but
dude,
yeah.
You're spot on, because anytime I'm at like a get-together, a party or whatever, my friends introduce me as that guy from the radio.
Yeah.
Immediately I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be on.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it says, all right, now it puts us on notice that we got to be
I was going to be on
the radio
anyways,
guy.
but I just want to be on because I'm me. Now I got to.
Yeah, now you got to perform.
Right.
I understand exactly what you mean on that too. But then again, I also don't want, because sometimes people hear that and then they immediately feel the need to try to treat me special. And I appreciate them being nice.
Right.
But don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
I don't feel, it makes me feel oogie when everyone's like, no, Mike eats first. He's or what, just stuff like that. Like, stop. I hate that. B, I don't want other people to look at this guy. You know what I mean? I hate that. I don't want to be that guy. So when people do that, I know they're just trying to be nice and appreciate.
Where'd you go? Your mic cut out. See, that's the problem. Now I had cans. Your mic cut out for a second.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if you know what? Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, but that's it.
But it's this stuff not tightening up there. So all right.
Tighten up.
I move the mic around a lot because I'm a fidgety dude, so I kind of move things around. But yeah, I hate that stuff. So I don't.
Makes sense.
I just generally, and so I just avoid it altogether as best I can. It still happens from time to time, but my wife doesn't understand when I kind of, because sometimes she'll do, and she's doing it good naturedly and everything else. But I'm like, please don't tell people I'm on the radio. Just let that go.
It might come up naturally later.
Yeah, but don't broadcast it anywhere. Just let her go. So.
Yeah, I'd much rather for somebody to be like, hear me talk and be like, you sound familiar.
That happens a lot.
And that's when I can break into my, if you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy your next new, that's my go-to line.
Well, and I'm not going to lie, I don't look at myself as a person that's got a radio voice, but people tell me that.
You very much do.
I just don't,
that's the
in
thing,
my
though.
head, I don't feel it.
You don't put on a voice. Like when I do like a certain hard sell or broadcast voice, I put on a voice.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to public, I usually mumble. I'm kind of quiet. I have a bit of a different voice. Your voice is just your radio voice. So it's one of those things where you run into it probably more in public. I don't get recognized. My voice doesn't get recognized nearly as much, but you kind of sound exactly the same, both on air and off.
Yeah, because, well, when I do commercials and stuff, I definitely put on like the cadence and the, come out today, do the, I can do all that. And I don't talk like that when I'm, but when I do put on the affect, it's generally for fun or for mockery or
exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to point out the audacity of
and
the
it's
industry.
Because I grew up, again, going back to the conversation in the 7 o'clock hour.
Back to the well.
Listen to those radio shows, and talk radio generally made fun of pukers. The pukers were your record spinning DJs.
7:55 on the AM. Come on, yeah.
Here's Van Halen. And then everything gonna talk real fast like this. You got to beat it out, and you got to put a little affect on it. And say, hey, going out to 7 o'clock now. Here's Van Halen, and that's kind of, we make fun of that, and so when I do it, it's kind of an homage to talk radio making fun of the pukers, right? In my head. So
I remember this is years ago. I used to have to do those on-site liquidation sales where like the truck would come in and they would, laptops $99 or whatever. And I was doing, like, the guy who was doing those sales at one point hired me to do his commercials, like, in and out of market.
Oh, boy.
So, like, I was doing them for, like, Altus, Oklahoma.
That's a workout, too.
It was. After I do a full minute of that spot.
Yeah.
And it's every second is crammed with words, and my side would hurt afterwards, like I just went for a run.
Like, generally speaking, monster truck ads are like, when people think of it, and you think of, Sunday, 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 you'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge. That mindset. Yeah. Basically, that's what he's creating, but for a liquidation sale.
Huge liquidation sale at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
1 day only. For 4 hours, the biggest savings. On Toshiba laptop, $69 and up. It was just nonstop that.
Yeah.
Hedges and clippers and hedges and clippers.
It is. It's a lot of that. And it was, and those were so meticulous. Like, he would tell you when you wanted to say dollars or not say dollars.
Right.
Sometimes
it was bucks, sometimes it was dollars.
Yeah, and sometimes it was
just
nothing.
the number.
Yeah, it was just 102.
Yeah, laptops from what? Laptops from 50.
Yeah. And he was because I remember doing them ads.
Brands you know and trust, Toshiba, HP, and it was never Toshiba and HP. It was like Daklungtungsun or something like that.
Oh, and by the way, they like to change them every 10 minutes, and it'd be like, well, get rid of this and add this and take this out and put this in, and you're like, dude.
It's a lot to get back into that mode.
Yeah, it is. And I remember doing those ads and be like physically tired afterwards.
Yeah, I have to. I would leave my studio, leave the production studio, and walk around the station for a minute just to kind of catch my breath.
Yeah, because literally the only way you can do those effectively is do it all in one breath.
Yeah, cool. Because you're from the diaphragm and you're pushing the whole thing.
And so when you've got, and this is why I always yell at salespeople for not using punctuation, because like if there's no period, it's one sentence, and I'm reading, and that's where I breathe, that's where I stop. They don't understand those are directions on how we talk.
You know what? I've had to change my my script writing style because of the system that we use.
Yeah,
it reads dashes as words.
Yeah,
because my go-to when I'm typing, because I tend to talk it in my head and don't type what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I go really fast, and so to transition from one sentence to another, I always space. And now it's messing up my word count. I've had to go back and rework how I do all that.
Okay.
So it's
and
thinking on the fly.
And it's kind of we're getting way inside baseball here, but when you write a script, it's not quite the same as writing normally. Because we write to make it spell. We're basically trying to create
broken of that
30 seconds of copy in word form, and you got to see it on paper so you can get a general idea if your script is going to make it in 30 or is it going to be too long or too short or whatever. And so we do things like we write out .com, DOTCOM, or we I don't write out numbers phonetically. I don't write SEVEM when I want to put 7.
I hate that. Drives me nuts.
That's harder to translate in your head while you're reading. But like, say I want you to say the phone number
7665.
Yeah, then we'll put dashes in there. So instead of you saying 7685, I want you to say 7685, and so we put a dash to kind of indicate to the person reading that's how they want them to say it.
I used to have to write scripts for a guy who was blind as a bat.
Yeah.
And so I wrote all caps, bold, dark print.
Yeah.
And I was broken of that when I came here.
Yeah.
Like wildfire style. Like they broke me like a horse. They're like, stop writing scripts in all capitals, Sean.
Yeah. Stop yelling at me.
Stop yelling at me in text form.
Yeah, it's kind of like texting, but a little bit different there. So.
This just in.
Oh.
We got someone called in.
This just in. Drop my phone.
Breaking news.
Yeah, someone who works for the state of New Mexico said something about old Lincoln days.
Oh.
We have a correction.
Okay.
It's free, I guess. I guess you said something about it having to pay something.
Well, according to the people at Lincoln, to get into the pageant, it's $10. Now, what's free is walking around and stuff. But if you want to see the pageant, it is $10, and that includes your concert. $10 for adults, 6 to 12 are $6, and children 5 and under are free for the pageant. You can go to Lincoln for free and walk around and stuff. Now, unless National Park Service is waiving fees because if you want to see the courthouse and the visitor center, you have to pay to get into those. Maybe they're waiving it for the weekend. I don't know. I don't have any information on that, but if you want to see the pageant, it does cost $10. So I'm not sure what he told you, but
Well, whoever called in, they said that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's all free.
it is all free to come and walk around and do stuff, but to go to the pageant, unless they just changed it like this week, it does cost $10. So I just want to, so it's that part. But to go to Lincoln for Old Lincoln Days, that's free to walk around and see all the stuff. Normally, they charge you to go into the National Park Service. There's a fee to go tour the courthouse and the visitor center, and you get tickets at those places. And maybe they're waiving those for the weekend. I don't know, but I can't confirm or deny that. Sure. So I don't want to put out misinformation. But I do know if you're going to the pageant, that costs money.
Just bring some fold money.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to want to buy stuff because they have a lot of cool things to buy. I'm telling you, this is kind of turned into tradition. You got to get roasted corn while you're there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but it tastes better when I'm in Lincoln.
It's the altitude.
It could be.
Now, do you go full-blown like elotes, or like do you go just with the butter?
Yes. I will do, sometimes I do butter, sometimes I go full out.
Like with the mayo and the...
Yeah. Sometimes it'll just be the cup version where it's like all in the cup, or sometimes it's straight off the cup.
I prefer it in the cup,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, yeah, I because it's less messy and things. But yes, you got a clarification?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ford Stanton, the concert and the pageant have to be paid for.
Got you.
Everything else is free.
Cool. Thank you. There's the update. So so if you go tour the courthouse or tour the visitor center, they're not charging.
Nice.
But they do have a package through the National Park Service that if you you can buy like Lincoln and Fort Stanton together for like one fee. So I guess what they're saying is you can't buy that, but you can. So if you want to go to Fort Stanton, which if you got time, it's worth the trip. It's really cool. You'll have to pay for that. But to tour the courthouse there in Lincoln this weekend and over at the visitor center there, you don't need to pay the National Park Service fee. That sounds like what they're saying there, which I hope that's true. That's awesome. That's a good thing. It's definitely worth checking out. So. Good deal. Is Amy here?
Yeah, just
sweet. All right, it is 9:19. We're gonna get you up to date with the weather. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Wall-to-wall sunshine coming our way for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia today. Another scorcher with highs close to 105. And we have the possibility of just a pop-up thunderstorm here or there, primarily for the afternoon and evening time. If you can get a storm going, it'll be a slow mover drawing in some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low 75. A few storms tomorrow, the high 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Roswell Nissan presents a WPBR and PBR Rodeo Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 12th and 13th at the Bob Crosby Arena. Get ready for 2 days jam-packed with bands, bulls, and barbecue. It all kicks off on Friday, August 12th as the men and women take the reins of some of the meanest bulls you've ever seen, with riders from Texas, Arizona, and even south of the border. Then get ready as El Chapo and Concierto Espectáculo Ecuestre con sus caballos de alta escuela take the stage. Then on Saturday, get ready for even more pro bull riding and the first annual Smokers Outpost Barbecue Competition, with up to $3 grand in cash prizes for the best in brisket, whole chicken, and baby back ribs. Then stick around for Los Terrenos de la Feria de Roswell and the Justin Kemp Band live. WPBR and PBR Rodeo Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 12th and 13th at the Bob Crosby Arena, presented by Roswell Nissan.
Submerge yourself in the ultimate Wild West weekend. Relive the story of Billy the Kid, where it happened, on the most dangerous street in America. Living history, children's activities, plus revealing lectures and tours. Explore the historic site and see the last escape of Billy the Kid pageant. 3 performances with special guest Michael Martin Murphy Friday evening. August 5th, 6th, and 7th. Lincoln, New Mexico. As close to the real Old West as you'll ever get.
Are you tired of your tired old furniture? Well, why are you keeping it? Glenn's Furniture has filled their store with a special purchase of beautiful, high-quality furniture at factory prices. Stylish reclining sofas and love seats, smart and practical dinettes and dining tables, sumptuous bedroom furniture, and Serta mattress sets, all specially priced and ready for immediate free delivery. Get the lowest prices of the year. Hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, saving you money on quality furniture since 1953.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good deal. Everything going well at the museum this morning?
Everything's rocking and rolling.
Good. Roof's still working.
We have a couple of things going on over there. We're good.
Good deal.
We're good.
But for folks that aren't aware, you're trying hard not to be aware at this point. But if you're not aware, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico would love to invite everyone out for our next dinner event. Mm-hmm. It will be happening here August 25th, a couple weeks away.
Right
reminder for everybody, school, everything. It's all coming
right around
up
the
real
corner.
quick. Yeah,
it's coming.
We're about to get busy again. The summer lounging is about to go the way of the dodo.
That's right.
But August 25th, we're having a drive-through fundraising event. So it's still minimal effort on your part. But we want to honor our past Heritage Dinner recipients, and we want to do it with this dinner and everything. And we'll have an awesome booklet and all. We'll talk more about that stuff. But really, it is a fundraiser for us in that facility and paying for the maintenance and upkeep of that, along with continuing our programs and doing things. Our fourth grade tours and Sunday fun days and things like that. This all helps keep those going. But we're going to have another, just like we did in these past dinners. Peppers has partnered with us once again to provide delicious meals for us. For $100, you get a box that feeds 2. And then we also have our dinner bundle for $500, which feeds 10. It's 5 boxes, a meal for 2 in each box. And of course, we step up our game a little bit with our box or our table box portion. The basically, we give you a nice centerpiece. We give you some free swag, delivery. We'll deliver the meals to where you want. And here's the cool part: even if all 5 boxes aren't going to the same place, we'll still deliver it.
You better believe it.
Say if you say you're a business or you're a nonprofit that wants to pay it forward to some of your employees or some of your volunteers, we can say, all right, well, now we can only break it up into 2. They come in pairs. They're like your shoes. They come in pairs.
That's right.
So we can deliver a box to anywhere. We could take 5 boxes to 5 different places.
I have a dinner bundle, and one dinner bundle. 5 boxes are going to 5 different locations, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We love that.
We can absolutely do that for you.
Or I just had somebody call just the other day saying, I really only need 3 or 4, but they went ahead and purchased the bundle. They're getting their 4 for what they need, and then we're paying forward one.
Oh, we're going to give one. That's very nice. And if that's the work where maybe you only need 2 or 3, but you're like, no, I really want to help out, I'll do the dinner bundle, and then give 2 to somebody else or something.
And then I also just got a check in the mail the other day for $50. I'm waiting for another $50. We'll put that together, match it, and pay it forward.
There you go.
I think that's what it's all about. Somebody asked me the other day, and I think it's important for us to explain something. We've explained it, but I think it's important we need to say it again. So the board of directors really, really wanted to do something special to honor all past recipients. We love, just like with anniversaries, I think all the men out there need to step it up when it's like 10, 25, 30, 40. Okay, we need to step it up.
Is that a hint to Ralph? Just say it was a subliminal hint.
We've only been married a couple of years, been together a long time. Hi, Ralph. If you're listening, we're dog ears. No, I'm just kidding.
Just saying, Ralph, be listening because there's some hints
Step
there.
it up.
Just say it.
But I think let's affirm this. For
Sure.
40 years of celebrating amazingness that has impacted history, our board was very, very intentional to say, listen, how can we do this effectively, and what is our vision?
Sure.
So somebody just the other day asked, what is this vision? Why are you doing a drive-through? Well, our vision was to encourage all these people, and it may take a minute, but Mike, if you don't care, I want to say every name.
Yeah.
Because people say, what is that all about? Who was on? Well, we're going to say them. If you didn't hear it, listen online and we'll rewind them. But our vision is for people that have connections with these people I'm fixing to read, and there's a lot of them, everyone's significant. We wanted to encourage their significant others, peers, to get together in their own way and have their own wonderful celebration.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's our intention, and we encourage people. If you want to do a backyard party or you want to do your own event, celebrate with your special peoples. Have your special moment.
Or maybe you're close friends with one of the past recipients. Say, hey, you want to invite you over and we'll buy you a meal and have some fun.
So you say, Amy, are you really going to name all these names? Yes, I'm going to say all these names. So starting in 1981.
Yeah, say 40 years ago. We're celebrating 40 years of Heritage Day.
1981, Robert O. Anderson.
Okay.
Next was R. Rogers Aston. And then the next, we had quite a few. It's E.W. Lander, I.J. Marshall, Mr. Marshall, and then Joey Williams. We had Clarence Hinkle then and Truman Sanders. The next year, 1985, J.P. White Jr., very significant to Historical Society.
I never heard that name.
1986 was Lieutenant General Richard Knowles, and then Lieutenant General James Riceley. Then next year we had Minor Huffman. Next year, Henriette Wyeth Heard. Heard
cool.
that?
That's a name I heard a time or two.
1989, John Russell. Then in 1990, very significant celebration was Chaves County Public Schools.
Nice.
New Mexico Military Institute, ENMU-R Roswell. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 1991 was Lieutenant Colonel L.T. Godfrey. And
Some people might know that name around too, yeah.
1992, Harvey Yates, Martin Yates, S.P. Yates, John A. Yates. Next year was Hal Green Bogle. 1994, impacting history so significantly, Morgan Nelson. God rest his soul. Wow, he certainly did a lot to help the Historical Society, as did so many. 1995 was T.J. Deason. Next year, 1996, Police Chiefs Tommy Thompson and L.M. Hall. Then in 1998, very significant to the Historical Society, still supporting today, was John P. Gill family, Roswell Seed. 1999 was Robert P. Beck family, the Roswell Daily Record. Christina Stock told me she moved to Roswell that year and was so excited to know that they were celebrating the Roswell Daily Record, which came to Roswell.
That's cool.
Next year we had Fred Henninghausen and the Pecos Valley Artesian Conservancy.
Conservancy.
District.
There you go. Okay.
Say that 3 times while you're listening. Next year was Judge Richard Bean. Still the family still supporting the Historical Society so significantly. 2002, Congressman Joe Skeen. 2003 is John and Betty King, KBIM Radio.
Cool.
2004, Dale and Kay Rogers, Roswell Farm and Livestock Supply. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Till the end, helping probably more than we deserve in every way possible. Next year was the Armstrong family, Bill Armstrong and Barb Armstrong. Next year, the Hobson family, Harold Hobson, yes, Little League World Series champion, Larry Hobson and Jerry Hobson, all so significant and still helping.
Well, Larry just retired from the Fair Board a couple of years ago.
You better believe it, and that's historical in itself. All 3 of those names impacting history so significantly.
Yeah.
Then I love next year was 2007, Ladies of Distinction. Dr. Judy Armstrong, Sally Anderson, and Judy Stubbs, all continuing very significantly to support the Historical Society. Judy's just helping to get tourism going. Gotta
all three
love it.
still involved in the community.
Oh, my goodness. And community and the Historical Society. 2008 was 3 Judges of Impact. Love that title. Judge Bobby Baldock, God rest the soul of Judge Alvin Jones, and then Judge Bill Snyder. 2009 was Sages of Southwest, Elvis Fleming and Arthur McQueedy. Next year was renewed Roswell Retailers, Don Bullock, Bob Tuning, and Charles Smith. Next year was Pecan Pioneers, Bill Bonham and Virgil Haley.
That's nuts. Just kidding. I had to do the pun. I need
the drums. That's so cool. 2012, Silent Servants. I love that. I'd love to be known as Silent Servant. Bobby Alcorn, Richard Kraft, and Ron Malone. Next year, in 2013, was a very significant year, honoring our current mayor, Senator Timothy Z. Jennings.
Nice.
2014, artists Dorothy Peterson and Kim Wiggins. Next year was the Gene Reichman family and the J. Kenneth Smith family. 2016, arguably my favorite celebration because we were the best in the world. How many times can we say we're the best in the world at something?
Yeah.
We were the 1956. We celebrated the anniversary of the 1956 Lions Hondo Little League World Series baseball team. Next year was Southwestern Public Service Company. 2018, the Merced and Francisca Gonzalez family. 2019, the dairy industry of Travis County. Last but not least, during our unique times in celebration of COVID, I think we did a tremendous job in 2020 of celebrating the restaurants of Roswell, past and present. So I cannot think of anybody listening that has not been impacted in one way or another, as we arguably all have been.
Sure.
By probably every single one of these people.
Absolutely.
So
May not even realize it.
And some people want a list. And by the way, if you buy a ticket and get your goodie bag, there's going to be a list right in your commemorative booklet. But I think that's important because people say, well, I just moved to Roswell. What do I have to do with any of this? Well, I bet you anything, you have a lot of things to do with if your kids are in the school district or whatever it is. And Jesus will come before we ever celebrate everybody that deserves to be celebrated. There's so many more. But I think, especially reflection, I think, Mike, we've talked about it with the board. It is time. I get so darn tired of this negativity and ranting and raving. Why don't we just take a moment, take a breath? Was at a funeral on Saturday, and they said, he always just used to say, just breathe, take a breath. But why don't we do that and reflect how we've been impacted?
Well, and at the end of the day, our mission statement is preserving history.
You better believe it.
And these people are our history.
Yes, every one of them.
And we want to preserve and celebrate that.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. And and this is, and we live in a world where where people are more amenable to do things than they are in other things. And so this is a way we're thinking, well, how can we honor these people, but at the same time keep our current mission of keeping the building going, keeping these things going. And so for us, this is a way to try to tie all that together, to give you and everyone else an opportunity to learn about people that shaped and molded Roswell and what you see today. And we want to celebrate that. But at the same time, we understand, especially here in August, where everyone's getting ready back for school, work. I mean, there's 50,000 things going on in August.
Things going on.
And the last thing most people want to do is get dressed up, go to a meal, sit down for a night of all that stuff.
How can we ever do all of these justice? How
it'd be a
can you
6
do
hour.
that?
It'd be a 6 hour dinner.
So I think one thing we've been intentional of, Mike, is partnering with the community to take a moment. This celebration, in our eyes, in the circles, could go on for a year. We could honestly take a moment to celebrate every single one of these, including if you said something like, I don't know some names you said. Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And something else, I think, Mike, you and I are part of numerous different organizations. We've been so cotton picking tired. We're not tired, but of pivoting to do more fundraising.
Sure.
That I think we do not need to lose sight of what you and I are.
What are we raising funds for?
What are we raising funds for? And we are, it seems to me, like this choo-choo train of fundraising, which, don't get me wrong, every minute, it's
the
so
nature of the beast.
significant.
It just is.
But I'm going to tell you right now, we're doing more fundraising than we've ever done because our expenses are more than they ever have been with these unexpected last couple of years, catastrophic items called capitalized projects.
Yeah.
AKA renovation, AKA take good care of this house or it's not going to be around, AKA preserving history.
Well, and it's a different animal preserving that thing.
It is.
Because how you would renovate your current house would not be the same as how we renovate that house.
Absolutely not. And we want to help in any way possible, remind other people how important that is. That's part of history, is preserving our houses. And I want to encourage people that are investing in our historical homes, make sure you do it as we have in the past.
Yeah.
That's very significant. And we get calls. A lot of times we're going to have to communicate with the state. People don't realize we don't have all of our resources locally regarding all the specifics required. So sometimes it does take us reaching out with the New Mexico Department of Historic Preservation and those kinds of things in Santa Fe to do these things right.
Absolutely.
And make sure that our mark is there. When I say that, if there's a placard on the outside of your house, we need to affirm how historical you are and what your story is.
And that's just it, is people like to say, yeah, I have a historical home. It's a status symbol in some ways, but in reality, it's a responsibility because,
you better believe
because now you're charged with preserving that history. If we're going to make it a historical landmark and they put the marker and it's in a district where that's what it's supposed to be, and then you come in and don't adhere to that and just kind of modernize the house or do, which I'm not saying modernize and yes, electricity and all that, but I'm talking make the house look no longer like a historical home, and now it looks like something out of the Jetsons.
If you're going to modify,
then you're not doing your responsibility to that facility.
And shout out to so many people that are really intentional in these efforts, and I can't wait to see the future of, for example, the Clary Sage home.
Yeah,
that's now going to be our wonderful hacienda of Roswell. That's amazing.
Yeah,
and we want to encourage others to do it, but we need your help. A trip down memory lane is making me a little crazy. We're almost at the deadline, and I was crazy
August
to begin
8th,
with.
Right?
I was crazy to begin with. It's August 8th, so I don't know what that makes me. I was already crazy. Now you're making me really crazy. So August the 8th, we have to have all responses.
Yes.
And don't delay. And that does mean we need this out of respect for Peppers. I know we've talked about this on the air before, but Peppers needs our support. We need to partner to have everything prepared and ready, because I'm going to tell you one thing. Peppers, thank you, Peppers, not only for your food, but for your support. Since I've been involved with the Historical Society, they have been diamond members of the Historical Society. What that means is, and I don't have a problem saying this on the radio, somebody asked me just the other day, why is Peppers always doing your food? I want to encourage other restaurants listening to become members of the Historical Society.
They support us.
You better believe they do. They do. And other restaurants over the years have. We don't have as many paying members of the Historical Society. And we do support all restaurants. But Peppers has been supporting us. It's a mutual admiration and respect. I would love, in our next membership list, because our next newsletter comes out in November, I would love to have a row of restaurant members. And then, by goodness, we better be calling all of them. And it may make my job harder, but that's right. We would do that.
Absolutely.
It's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And we could get 10 or 20 quotes. If everybody in Roswell partners together,
Well,
we'll
who
partner
knows?
anyway. Maybe we could have different stations or something.
Maybe we multi-tier. It's like, you want to go to Peppers,
Hey,
great. You want to go to
Mike,
Restaurant
you
B,
know
great.
Those not mystery meals, progressive meals, when you'd go to one house and get the dessert, and one house goes. Maybe we need a drive-through with 5 different restaurants.
Maybe
I'm all in.
A trick-or-treating fun
that would be really
dinner.
cool. That would be really cool.
That'd
But
be kinda neat.
Peppers, we've been partnering. We've been working on this since February, I think. So they're ready. They need everything back. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's $10, $100, we do need sponsors. I will continue to thank XL Energy, which was the original Southwestern Public Service Company, and Dairy Producers in New Mexico, both recipients of the Heritage Dinner Awards, and both stepping up and helping us in an additional corporate sponsorship way to get this done. We are fundraising to help, again, keep the lights on. It isn't to up my salary. You know as well as I do, That doesn't happen. And I don't do this for that reason.
Sure.
But it is to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Somebody jokingly said, are you doing all these fundraisers to get a raise? And I was like, that's what, we don't expect raises. Y'all don't expect raises from your $0.
That's
right. But we do.
We'll double it.
Our raise would be impacting and doing more throughout the community and pulling
Sure.
it all together.
Yeah, the at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about the success of the historical society, and we would love to see it at a point where it's a popular attraction, like it would be for Area 51 or someplace where you go to recreate. The historical site is one of those places where you come to bring your family and come see the museum, come maybe book an event at the archive facility and have a little picnic or a meeting or something like that. That's
any type
we
of
want that
event.
we want it to be known as a place where folks can go and come have their meetings, have their opportunity to see what the history of this community is. Obviously, for our researchers and authors and those folks, our archive facility is usually that is the point one. We're pretty much, if any researcher or historian or anyone that's coming to do any kind of research on Southeast New Mexico or Roswell or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, their first stop is the Historical Society. Sometimes it's a chamber and then it's the Historical Society, but it literally is we're the kind of the doormat for the historical world to come and see our community.
Well,
doormat is in welcome, not is in we get stepped on.
Well, and I think it's important. We're so darn busy, we lose sight. If you're part of numerous organizations, just like the Leadership Roswell organization, we're one of the biggest leadership organizations in New Mexico. Don't lose sight of that historical perspective of all these organizations, including the Eastern New Mexico State Fair that's fixing to celebrate a large celebration. How many times do we celebrate 100 years of anything?
Sure.
That's a miraculous celebration that's part of our history, and our entire community should pull together, including us. We're all there. I went to the board and said, how can we help? And by the way, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, I haven't heard from you. So we're going to help. We're going to work together. We want to help. It's not just about us as a society.
Sure.
It is about the history, every bit of history, good, bad, ugly. And if we talk about something ugly, how can we make it better?
Like when you see like old flooding pictures and things of Roswell and stuff, and you're like, where'd that come from?
Yes.
It came from the Historical
Well,
Society.
and all of our
They're
Walker
preserved there.
Aviation, all historic.
Yeah, it's all preserved there.
Yes. So we are in the history business, yes, and we're honored to do that. I do think that's a privilege. I think it is a privilege to have all of our forefathers, the Morgan Nelsons and the Elvis Flemings, that spent half of their life, most of their lives, celebrating history, documenting history, doing what we can. But at the end of the day, it can pull us all together. Whatever side of the fence you're on, you talk a lot about the politics of this area. That's your job. Well, what I might tell you is you have a right to do that, but we also at the end of the day have a right to pull together.
Absolutely.
And get over ourselves in this one point that we're so adamant on when we agree on 10 other things. There's power in that. You and I know we could become the powerhouse, if you will, in New Mexico.
Well,
and I think we are in a lot of ways.
Well, and I think part of that, and I don't get real philosophical here, but we got to remember we're all on the same team.
We are.
At the end of the day, we're Americans. We all live.
are.
We call Roswell home. We all want the best for this community. I think every single one of us can agree on that. We may not agree on how to get there,
right.
but if we remember, we're doing this for the betterment of where we live and where we call home. And ideally, what we're hoping is when we're long and gone, the next generations of our families get to enjoy Roswell as much as we do.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for our schools. And God be with everybody. If you're listening with school starting, I know my husband is taking a sleeping bag, literally kind of thing. God be with our educators.
Yeah.
Man, if that's not historical, they're impacting, educating. Be with our locals, whether you're at Gateway starting a little bit later, whoever. We lift you up in our prayers. But whether I'm a Roswell Higher Goddard or whatever, that's all historical.
Yeah.
And we need to pull together and unify. And I really, really believe history can do that.
Well,
I really do.
And I'm going to throw a little gauntlet out.
Yep.
If there happens to be any of our past recipients that are listening, I would love to get a chance to talk with you on the radio if you're amenable. I would love to hear it. And
Yes.
Our more recent recipients, I'd love to talk to you too, but I'm kind of digging for some of these 80s and 90s and early 2000 names on that list there that are still with us, that are still in the area and still that would like to talk. So I'm going to throw the gauntlet out. We're probably going to put some efforts to reach out to a few people, But if you're listening,
and we may not know how to reach out to a lot
and that's
of
the thing
them.
too. We may not be able. So
that's right.
So I'm kind of throwing the blanket thing on here on the radio. If you know one of these individuals or you yourself one of these people, we would love to have you to share your story on the radio with us.
Call the museum at 622-8333. And I know one thing. Mike will make it happen as soon as possible.
Yeah,
because I would love to fill up Mike's calendar with history.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to some of these.
And I know Gene would too. Gene loves to listen to all the history and fun part.
And it's a little selfish for me. I'm not going to lie, because I called Roswell home beginning 2000. So my history is from 2000 on. I don't have a lot of history. I mean, I know of things, but as far as the people and some of that, I don't have a deep knowledge of that. So I would like to learn a little and like to meet some of the people that kind of, help shape Roswell to the way it is today. I'd like to do that.
We'd love to. So call. By the way, we've already had a call, so I need to schedule one. So we've got a call, and we'll get them on the radio. But inundate the phone at 622-8333 with past Heritage Dinner recipient honorees. Maybe you're a family member. Maybe your great-grandfather or something was honored. Tell your story, and we'd love to celebrate it because we want to encourage individuals to learn more about all these people. We love, and then the OMG, and give a shout-out to those people the Roswell livestocks of the world, and even the Hobsons of the world through the fair or whatever it is. Make an intentional effort to stop by and just show appreciation for all they've done for our community, whether it is Roswell Seed, Roswell Livestock, and so many more. Even like I said, whether it's the schools or whatever, let's just come together.
Absolutely.
I think that, and I would love to know that this event could have some power in bringing us all together and unifying and stop being persnickety and this and this and that. I just want, if anything, to know that this celebration can pull together some things and let us see the sunshine.
Yeah.
And I am worn out of the sunshine. I'm so but this is good sunshine.
Yes.
And
we don't want humidity with our sunshine.
Well, and our grandkids, like my grandkid, may not know a lot of these names.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, I don't think they do. And as a matter of fact, one of the things my grandson and I are going to do, hello, Landon Cole, if you're listening, he wanted to physically see some of these things and where they represent. So some of the things, I would question how many of these things we could do literally a drive-by, if you will, to start some things. Probably not a lot of them. Some of them, yes. Or some of them we could make a connection, like the old KBIM radio kind of thing. Where did that originally start?
Yeah,
these fun things. So get these conversations started. I would love to know at restaurants and barbershops and stuff, it sparks these interests of what we call the good old days.
We had a lot of fun with that when we did the restaurant Heritage Dinner.
Yes.
And we interviewed some people and we put together a video, but a lot of it was like, here we sit on the place where this restaurant stood, and now it's called home to something else, or it's an empty lot or something.
That story, if you will, or even one individual story it's changed over the years in the next legacy. So this event, Thursday, August the 25th, pick up 5:30 to 6:30. A dinner box for two is $100. Make a donation if you're unable to. If you can't be in town, just cut a check yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody has attended every one of them. And Awanda, we love you, Awanda. She's not going to be in Roswell. Sent us a check, and it said, do what you want with it. We paid it forward to two very significant individuals that are helping, volunteering, and haven't been to one of these before.
How long is she out of town? I wonder if we could leave some leftovers in her fridge or something.
She deserves it because she has paid it forward and everyone and still enjoyed everyone. You're right. We should need to put a bag in the refrigerator and let her have it because she deserves it, because it's this evolution of food that keeps getting better and better. But the RSVP date is August the 8th. It is hard deadline. If for any reason you're challenged with the internet, the website, give us a call, 622-8333. We can walk you through it, which we have before, or we can make other arrangements.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, the Historical Society would take cold, hard cash.
We do.
And I'll even drive to the house and pick it up. Listen, you could literally call the museum and say, I don't want to mess with the internet. We could literally pick up the money and even deliver it to them, kind of thing. So we just want everybody to have fun with this and continue to pay it forward. Share it with your neighbors.
Yeah.
I think we're so busy, Mike. That's something that sounds fun, is taking a moment to share it with your neighbors.
Yeah.
When we're so busy, we never get to see them.
Little last family sit down to get together before everyone goes their separate ways and busy and everything else. Yeah. And by the way, you're getting a delicious meal. This is something, and I'm going to read the menu real quick before we go. Okay. But you're getting a meal for two in each box. And first, you'll start off with your shrimp appetizer for two. And as Amy and I joke every time, they're monstrous shrimp. They're very delicious. Mm-hmm. Usually you fight over who gets because this is the one thing he does that I think he does on purpose. He puts an odd number of shrimp in there. No, and there's, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you're like, dude, it's for two. You got to give me an even number so we don't stop the fights. But I think he does that just for his own satisfaction, you know?
I think so.
Kind of a pot stirrer. I like to do that too. But
by the way, Mike, we did confirm giving it is going to be jumbo shrimp cocktail.
Nice.
The Mongo,
oh,
like
good
we did
one.
Before. That's a little bit
big
more
in your
specific.
head shrimp. Select them. Yeah. And then including that, you'll get a beef entree, which is a braised beef tips. Yummy, yummy. And then for you non-beef eaters, the chicken. Or you can fight however you want to, or split.
That's
Kim and
right.
I split.
Split it.
I eat half the
right
chicken,
thing.
and she gets half the
I think that's the right thing.
But the chicken is spinach and artichoke grilled chicken, so delicious. And then both meals will be served with the red new mashed potatoes, a summer squash medley, of course, your rolls and butter, and then dessert.
And the dessert. Here you go. Are you ready for the dessert?
Oh, do we have an official? We know what it is now?
We have an official dessert.
Okay.
Chocolate chip bourbon monkey bread.
Ooh.
And see, I don't think we've done chocolate
This is new.
before.
Usually it's fruit based.
It is. So this is something new, and
Some
they're
people
really
like bourbon.
excited
Some people like
about it.
chocolate.
And that together.
Yeah.
And do a little monkey.
And monkey bread.
Yeah. See. So he just unveiled that, and I think that's exciting because somebody, and I am fruity. See, that might be on me. See, Mike, I'm not really chocolatey.
Oh.
So see, they're pulling in the chocolate now. So you chocolate lovers, that chocolate chip monkey bread, that bourbon monkey bread, that might be worth this whole thing.
I'm
just
down.
saying.
I'm completely down.
I would almost personally guarantee it.
I'll be completely down with that. I might have to. My wife doesn't like monkey bread. I'm just going to eat that for her. I have no idea, but that's what we're saying right now.
We're really excited about. And for those of you who've already bought your tickets and said, yeah, I've already helped Amy or whatever, don't forget to collect your loose change.
Yeah.
Somebody like Mike here might be helping run around and collect your loose change.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see that too, because again, every penny counts.
Every little bit
And at
helps.
the end of the day, we had a sweet individual that drove by. For whatever reason you can't afford to, give us a call about the loose change. That is still ongoing. Thank you for those individuals that are helping. And by the way, if you're listening and have a container that you need us to pick it up or anything, give us a call and we'll get that taken care of.
Absolutely.
That is helping us.
And then don't forget, too, if you'd like a tour of the facility, we're doing tours by appointment.
Yes.
So basically call us and say, if you got a group of friends you want to do something, that's kind of how we're doing it.
That's
So
right.
you just call us and we'll make a time and
by
get
the
it set
way,
up.
Mike, yesterday we had a fourth grader come.
Good.
Shout out to Mackenzie and Brenda Gottlieb.
Nice.
They were getting there too, and she got her little blessing. It is not too late. If you were a fourth grader and you did not come to the museum, you can still get your gift.
Still cash
which,
in
by
on
the
that?
way, McDonald's is included in the blessing. Thank you to the Snowburger Foundation.
If you don't claim it, I'll take those tickets.
I
and
know
I'll
Mike's going to be trying to get it. I'm just saying.
trying to-
It's not too late to book your appointment and get your visit with your blessing if you got a fourth grade school tour.
Absolutely. But if you don't have fourth graders and still want the tour, please just call. We'll get an appointment. It's a better tour, actually, because you get a personalized tour and you and
for sure.
the group, and you get to,
my
it's all your questions that get answered and all that good stuff.
And they
So
love
it's-
that.
Yeah.
It's more custom, like you're
Yeah,
saying. It's
it's
customized to you.
Yeah.
So if you're more interested on that, we'll work in any way possible. And we might not know the answers. And Miss Jane and Fred and Melanie and all our amazing people, they may want to do some research and figure it out together.
I got to
'cause
be
that's a
honest.
challenge.
Some of them like being stumped. Like when you
They
had them with something
do.
that you don't know,
They
it gives them an
do.
excuse to go digging.
For sure. We may need to make some calls and do some research. We would love to know that our archive committee has to get together because a fourth grader got some questions together that we can't answer, and then we learn it all together. That's classic.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if I don't know, I'm not afraid to say I don't know.
That's why we
And
have an
we'll learn it
archive facility and
together.
everything, so we go look it up. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. It
But-
could come out to be a Sunday fun day.
It could be.
Helping everybody to learn whatever that is.
Absolutely. And so please reach out. And of course, if you'd like to be a member, you can always sign up to be a member. Go to our website, roswellnmhistory.org. There you can get your tickets for the drive-through event here on the 25th. And, of course, purchase books and
purchase books. Oh, and in the event category, in the little events line, it's got some upcoming events. We'll be at, of course, a lot of stuff fun, a spooky event coming up in October. Cool. So go to event section on our website to affirm some save the dates in the future. And if you have questions, give us a call.
Caps will be back on in November or September.
September.
September,
that's
right. That's September.
We'll be promoting that right away. And if you want to get involved with the CAPS event, I know we need volunteers and unique things. Give us a call if you need more information about that CAPS event. We'll be promoting that again. That's on our website. It gives you a lot of information.
Part of their living history thing they do.
Sure, it's exciting.
They've done it with us in the past, and it's a lot of fun. So, but we'll talk more about that later. But
it's exciting.
But of course, also while they're at the website, you can learn about becoming a member as yourself individually, or a couple, or a business, or corporate sponsor, or something. Any of that stuff. There's many different options, and that's a great way to support the Historical Society.
And if educators are listening right now, I would love to partner, whether it's elementary school, middle school, or high school, on history clubs.
Yeah,
School
definitely.
start, and let's get some of those going. Or if it needs to get going again, let's revive that and get some history clubs going.
Absolutely. Yep. So, just saw the time.
Where does the time go? Thank you. Thank you for everybody listening, and thank you to 106.5.
Anytime. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's do this. It's 9:56. Let's get you into your Wall Street business update. Quick break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. OPEC and its allies have agreed to boost crude production at a much slower pace in September than in previous months, pumping an additional 100,000 barrels of oil per day. OPEC boosted production by 648,000 barrels per day in July and August. Wall Street higher at this morning's opening bell as traders await more corporate earnings and jobs data this week. Investors also watching for potential economic fallout from China after House Speaker Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. A larger than expected increase in factory orders in June. Orders rose 2%, exceeding expectations. CVS Health beat second quarter expectations and hiked its full-year forecast as growing prescription claims and COVID-19 test kit sales countered a drop in vaccinations. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist, and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Imagine pool water that is extremely soft and gentle on hair, skin, and eyes. Soft Swim is a chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard. Simple and easy, Soft Swim will give you a crystal clear pool that feels luxuriously soft. Your pool might just become the destination of the entire neighborhood. Application is a breeze, no mixing, no pre-dissolving, and routine maintenance is simple. Come to Mays Lumber Company today, the only dealer for Soft Swim by BioGuard.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.